or is it just fucking mean?
Warm, yeah.
Yeah.
And the misty rain is back,
Yeah.
that like 200% humidity kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
It's fucking
that's the killer.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
To get into the Arctic somewhere.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. There's no nice place on the planet, where like it doesn't get like obscenely fucking humid and then freezing and then back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't LA supposed to be the ideal climate, like 20, usually 20 odd degrees Celsius or something like that? But then
Mm.
again, it's fucking LA, isn't it? So
Yeah,
yeah,
LA.
yeah.
Mm.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We've been
Shit.
live for a minute now.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Welcome to the Manic Depressive Show.
Yeah.
We are here, ill and older, and happy belated birthday to Howard. We'll
Thanks. I
mention
was
it.
hoping that I would be able to spend it on the air with you guys, but that wasn't meant to be.
No, it's my fault. That was my fault. Well, not my fault, but
Yeah.
I wasn't well enough, and I was and yeah. It's been a bad decade as well, so it catches up eventually. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
apologies. We
Mm,
did try, but it just wouldn't have been
yeah,
any fun at all. And who wants that?
yeah. And we weren't on yesterday, and that was my fault because I got my wires crossed. I thought, oh yeah, I'll wait for Morgan to let me know if he's well enough to do the show. But I just didn't think, hey, how about you reach out to him? Because I don't think we communicated very
No,
well.
I just thought we were. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're here now. Like so, it's
Yeah,
just
barely, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's probably better to say nothing and just leave people with
mystery.
the mystery that they had in their mind. It's always far better than reality.
Mm.
Like someone had a toothache,
Yeah.
and then we got our lines crossed and failed to communicate properly. And yeah, but all things for a reason.
Yeah.
We leave these things in the hands of the gods, to
Mhm.
fate, like a good Hindu. And
Mm.
everybody loves a good Hindu, don't they? I don't know if people. It is Pajit bashing week, so that's what has my energy depleted as well. I've been beating up. Holy shit! You're getting raided.
I just right. Okay. So for some reason I can't. Oh, here we go. Never mind. Sorry. I thought we were off air. I was. Yeah.
Aliens have landed.
All right, Pajit.
Yeah, Pajit
Mm.
bashing week. I don't
Mm.
know if people are aware. So my time was spent
Yeah.
between the Fla and beating up Indians.
Mm.
Tiring work, I have to say. Like it's very difficult to catch, especially in the warm weather. They're kind of already greasy to begin with, but the extra sweat from the warm weather. It's like trying to wrestle a seal covered in baby oil. They're difficult to catch. But yeah, I
Mm.
think those days are behind us now because apparently now we're not allowed to beat up Indian children anymore, which
No
was
more pogroms.
yeah, it's one of my favorite fucking hobbies.
Mm.
And I didn't mind Indians, really, they weren't
No.
annoying me that much at all, really,
No.
until recently because now they're all fucking not all, but it's been served as on a platter. That they have a problem. That they're we, us good Irish people, are all being terribly, terribly racist towards them. And really, when one of them passes by, we should genuflect, really. What I've been listening to, I went to, I drove to Waterford the other day. And
Mm.
of course, I got lonely in the car and the age we live in. I can't focus unless I have somebody talking to me. I'm reading something, I'm looking at something. So I just couldn't cope. I'm in the car, it's like, no, what's going on? I feel lonely. So I turned on the old fashioned radio,
Mm.
and there was Matt Cooper to greet me. Good old fucking Matt. the whore Cooper, and I knew I should have turned it off straight away, but I fucking didn't. So I'm listening to him talk some horseshit, and then he mentioned coming up was somebody or other from the Irish Nurses and Midwives Organization, or whatever the fuck it's called, their union, to talk about the recent spate of racist attacks on Indians in the country. This up until 2 weeks ago, I didn't think we had a fucking problem. Like, you would, if you heard about an Indian in the news, it's normally he's molesting some child on a bus somewhere or a street, or there seems to be a propensity of them that turn up in these pedophile hunter fucking online programs. Every second week there's an Indian or a Pakistani. But no, the first wind we got of it really was when the guy was beaten up in Tala. And this naked dude, who apparently, according to the papers, he was stripped naked and beaten because he was Indian. But the counter narrative is that he was going around flashing and he got beaten up for flashing. But thankfully, our media got in there, and after a day and asking him what happened, they went with his side of events without any real investigation, and then it's been blown off as, oh no, it's just a racist attack. I didn't know he was Indian until they told me. He just looked like a black dude. Because there's, Indians aren't just the one color. There's a kind of a shading. It's a massive fucking continent. Like, so, they go from almost white, where they want to be white, all the way down to kind of field Indian, where they're very, very dark and lower caste people. And I believe that's still a thing in India as well. They're still struggling with the old caste system,
Oh yeah.
And they seem to be bringing it here now, because it's like Paddy seems to be like the lowest sort of fucking caste there is, so he had all this with this guy, and then it's like, okay, well, clearly it was a racist, an unprovoked racist attack just because he's Indian. And why it's only one was a mystery to me. Like, if we have this fever upon us, surely there'd be hundreds of cases of Indians just being attacked everywhere. It would be like a mind virus. Anytime you'd see an Indian, you just go buck wild and start beating the living Jesus out of them. So that passed off without much of a fuss. And then we had some other, a doctor of all things, a doctor. Oh my God, a holy doctor. An angel in disguise was beaten up, apparently, punched in the mouth, terrible scar on his mouth that disappeared after a day. Like, fucking wonders of modern medicine is unbelievable. Like, especially this Vedic medicine that they're bringing with them from the continent over there. It's fucking magical stuff altogether. Like, I believe the doctor who performed on him actually pulled a gold watch from his ear at the end of the operation as well. Like, just amazing, like incredible stuff. Like, and they're fucking light years ahead of us over there. And so that was terrible, because a doctor, like, could you imagine? And God forbid anyone should attack a doctor. And but again, it was because he was Indian. This is why he was attacked, apparently, because purely because he was Indian. There's no other reason to attack an Indian other than the color of their skin. And how people know he's an Indian is beyond me. Like, he could be a Pakistani, it could be Afghanistani, it could be many different cultures and countries. So, but no, okay, so that's right. Well, this is, it's picking up a pace now. And then actually, I think it was a day or two after that event that our good friends in the Journal, just let me share this now. These are always coincidental. But the Journal, and I'm not sure about this now, are people still of the mind that journalism in Ireland is ethical, or has that boat sailed, like with St. Brendan when he left for America all those fucking years ago? So we'll have a look at this. So the Journal sent out a call to the nation. Can we see that screen okay?
Oh, yeah. Jeez Louise.
So here we go, like the 21st of July. So I think the attack on the Indian man in Tala happened around the 19th or maybe the 18th of July, but just a couple of days prior to this. So they sent out the call to the nation, and I'm sure it's not just the Journal. I'm sure all our newspapers do this. Don't think they normally have advertisements in their own papers. If you have a story, normally with the tabloid, call us and, we'll send out one of our reporters to exploit the story and then leave you to deal with the aftermath of it once they sell a few newspapers, you know. So racism and anti-migrant sentiment is a serious issue in Ireland today. Over the weekend, a racially motivated attack in Dublin was the latest iteration of the problem. In recent years, protests against immigration and asylum seeker accommodation have become more commonplace, while there are increasing reports of racism and discrimination while there are, is it? Okay, yeah. Discrimination. You should hire an Indian to fucking proofread your fucking article. In 2023, the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission found that more than 1 in 4 people who are not of white Irish ethnicity experienced racism in the previous 12 months. Yeah, I wonder. Boo fucking who if you did. The fact that you aren't all being beaten up in the streets is a fucking miracle. It's a testament to the power of the state and state every fucking where. That people, you've somehow managed to squash all rage into people. Well, let's say most people, and it's very distressing, you know. And it ends up coming out in the car, you know, when you're driving at people like Matt Cooper, and I'm sure that's deliberate as well. Like, you know, just vent your anger in the car when nobody's listening. Hope nobody drives past as you're fucking screaming like a lunatic in your car on your own. Okay, so then, yeah, let us know about your experiences. We want to hear if racism is affecting you. Do you feel welcome as an ethnic minority? Have you experienced racist discrimination? How have these issues impacted you? Do you feel these issues have taken blah, blah, fucking blah, blah, blah?
Right.
Okay, so then, you know, a week later, we have the story of the Indian child. So we'll bring that up because this is the big one. Because, you know, children, God forbid, Jesus Christ, like a child gets attacked. It's the end of the world in Ireland. We have to we need some sort of referendum or laws. That's what we need. Laws. We need new laws to stop the fucking pandemic of Indian children being beaten on the streets. So there's like many of these stories. Like, they're fucking everywhere. You can't get away from them. And there's a couple of videos as well. So we'll have a look at them. I was going to download the Matt Cooper interview, but I couldn't. I couldn't get that angry again. It was just whoever the spokesperson was. I don't know if it's the general secretary of the INMO, but was essentially on the radio lecturing people how grateful we should be that these people are in our country, because the same horseshit. If it wasn't for these people, the country would simply fall apart. And they gave some statistics, like I think it's now 57% of nurses in Ireland receive their training outside of Ireland. That was
it shows as well.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, fucking yeah. They're putting leaves in your wound, you know, casting spells. It's a dead giveaway straight away, you know. It's like I fucking 3 African nurses dancing around the bed with bongos and fucking all sorts of nonsense going on. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I just come in for a fucking injection. Like, there's no need for this horseshit. So 57, and in the last 2 years, like something like 75% of all entrants into the nursing system have been from outside of Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's not worrying at all, is it? You know, that there's this now a new caste system in Ireland where the people who are responsible for the health of the nation are from outside of the nation. And it just so happens the vast majority of them happen to be Indian. Okay. So after the rage settled down in the fucking car, having to listen to this person, you know, tell me how I should be so grateful that these people have, you know, given up everything to come here and look after us poor, retarded Irish people who, you know, clearly can't manage to get a nursing degree, or, you know, we just can't. I mean, we've discussed it 1,000 times how we did it in the past. We don't know. We've lost the skill to nurse in Ireland. It's just gone, and we'll never get it fucking back. You know, so we'll be forever dependent on the goodwill of Indians, Filipinos, and a sprinkling of fucking Nigerians to look after us till we depart the green sod of Ireland. And so then I'm listening to this person, and then I'm thinking, well, Jesus Christ, like if there's, you know, 70% in the last couple of years, and then going back to the early 2020s, it was 50-odd%. So the whole union is essentially foreign nationals. So you could probably say 60 to 70% of members in the INMO are foreign residents, and
Hmm.
most likely Indian. So we have
Right.
an organized mass of Indian unionized. I don't even know if they're used. They'd have to be at some stage. It's not like they all arrived fucking yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If they weren't unionized, they will be now because the union is advocating on their behalf. So
Mm-hmm.
we have this well organized, ready to fucking go mass of some 30, 40,000 nurses in the public sector. And the HSE is I think, one of the, if not the largest employer of the state.
Mm.
And
Yep.
this isn't only going to be confined to the health service as well. There's going to be many other services that are, again, heavily stacked and packed with immigrants, because that's the culture,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it's not like it's just for the plebs out there. The whole state apparatus is heavily involved in this fucking culture and has been for the longest time. Yeah, so that's deeply fucking worrying to me.
Yeah, it's a fifth column. Like
Yeah,
it's a danger, a very real fucking danger that we've seen repeated throughout history many times, and it never ends well. Where a massive amount of people come to a country, and then be- they make the people dependent upon them.
yeah, and it's
And,
not just nurses; it's doctors and surgeons
hmm,
as well. So the power there, just the leverage you have over a government. Um,
yeah,
and it can't be long before one of
true.
those guys, because it's going to be easy to put pressure on the head of the INMO, who is Irish at the minute. And it's like, well, if 60% of your members are Indians, like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you representing Indians? Like, isn't that the height of white privilege for a
Hmm.
white Irish man to be representing a union
Hmm.
that's made up primarily of, 95% women, and the majority of them Indian? Surely an Indian woman should be in charge of that union.
Yeah,
But what
totally.
the fuck is this? Not enough migrants arriving to keep pay down. Oh yeah, wow.
2019. I thought this was satire when I saw it, but no.
They're actually telling us what the problem is. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. Keep the wages down at all fucking costs. Like, yeah, and like criminally negligent. From a
Hmm.
statesmanship point of view, to have such an important part of your society essentially run by people from a foreign country that can hold the entire nation to ransom, just randomly go on strike every now and again until they
Mm-hmm.
get this, that, and the other. And there's
Mm-hmm.
been calls that we need to educate the children, we need to do something with the education system, we need to have a program rolled out to say how dependent we are on these people, how much we value them. I think each one will now be given an armed guard to roam the
Mm-hmm.
streets, so they don't feel insulted and they can feel safe walking down the fucking streets at nighttime. But yeah, this child thing seems to have got them all in a frenzy. So let me see
Yeah.
if I can find anything that would be fucking useful. Um, oh no, that's the video.
I,
Okay, yeah,
ugh.
I know, right? And it's terrible to have that reaction, to that yuck. But that's what it's come to. Like, it's
What?
like, what the fuck are you doing in this country of ours? Like, it's like
Yeah.
we don't need you, really. We
No.
we, we don't, in the real sense. Like, obviously we might need you, or the government needed you to fill a gap because they didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
fucking foresight, or either they were negligent, or it's a deliberate play. Either way, it's fucking disgusting that they would let the country get to such a state where
Hmm.
anybody who was involved in nursing or medicine felt that, okay, the only way they could survive and thrive in the world is to leave the very country that they were born in. Now, granted, if they wanted to leave to experience the world, great. But I don't think that you have to plug a gap, like 60% gap, just
Hmm.
because people all of a sudden got the wanderlust.
Mm-hmm.
No, we know what it is. The wages are shit. I know people make the argument, well, foreigners, they don't come in, and the wages aren't any less. No, the wages are shit to live any sort of fucking reasonable lifestyle, okay? So that's why our nurses went. It's because, okay, well, there's no fucking hope of ever getting a house that they can afford and still manage to have
Mhm.
some sort of social life outside of just paying back the mortgage. And so they said, "Fuck it, I'll go elsewhere where they're valued," and they did
Mm.
that. And you can't blame people. You can't say, "Okay, well, stay, be patriotic, and take
No,
a shitty
sadly, no.
paycheck for forever." But there is an argument about they could have stayed and fought for it, but who does that? Really, you're pretty much on your own. There's no movement to join. So they went, and
Mm.
this is what we got replaced with. So I don't know much about these people. This man, I've seen him on a couple of interviews. He doesn't say much. He just sits there and fucking nods. But as far as I can make out, I think
Mm.
he is a care assistant.
Oh,
Yeah, and as we
okay.
saw on prime time or whatever it was, that can be anywhere from actually looking after old people to picking them up by the back of the jocks, breaking their hip and launching
Mm.
them onto a bed.
Mhm.
So we'll read the story anyway, and then we will have a look at a couple of interviews because they're doing the rounds between all the newspapers, daytime television. The Mirror even went out and interviewed them with a video camera, which I found strange. I didn't know the Mirror had a uh, social media presence like that, but maybe it's just the new world. They're not making enough
Mm.
print. So
Yeah.
recent attacks on people from South Asia in Ireland have received widespread media coverage in India and caused damage to the state's reputation. The Department of Foreign Affairs has said this is like 4 fucking events, or not even like 3, I think, or maybe it was 2 by the time the Indian embassy issued a warning to all its citizens to take care in Ireland because 2 of their fucking citizens have been attacked. It's
Uh-huh.
like, give me a fucking break. So weeks ago, leading Indian newspapers would rarely mention Ireland outside of their sports sections, detailing golf games, rugby matches, and cricket fixtures. Although, with the occasional news story about Conor McGregor, never a moment that they don't squeeze Conor McGregor into
Mm.
a fucking article. Jesus Christ. Often in regards to his civil rape trial.
Oh, man. Oh. Oh, fuck me.
It's so pathetic. Like, it really is. It's beyond fucking parody at this stage.
We need an exchange program with the CIA. They come over, they teach our journalists, how to, not be so on the fucking nose with propaganda.
Yeah, I know. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe they don't have to. Maybe, but I don't know. I can't imagine anybody reads this and isn't fucking outraged or.
I think they're overplaying their hand seriously.
Mhm.
Like I think they're just probably this fucking stupid that they're walking themselves into their own fucking Bastille Day.
Hopefully. Now the reports on Ireland focus on a series of unprovoked attacks against people of South Asian origin living in Ireland. How do we know they're unprovoked attacks to begin with? This is the problem
Mhm.
with Irish journalism. There's no fucking investigation. It's just, okay, well, let's go to the woman's house. Let's run
Mm.
with this fucking story. Don't ask any questions at all. Just let her talk, get what we need, and then fuck off, and then print it and run away. And that's the end of it. Their headlines refer to physical attacks on Indian men, a taxi driver, a data scientist, a sous chef, who respectively left with 12 stitches, a broken cheekbone, and in need of hospital treatment. Others reported on a soon to be tech worker who arrived in Ireland 3 weeks before he was beaten, stabbed, robbed, and partly stripped in Tala, County Dublin. He was filmed in this condition, and the clips swiftly spread on social media, igniting a wildfire of misinformation about the man. Gardaí are investigating the incident as a potential hate crime. And then the mother of a
Mm.
6-year-old Indian girl who also allegedly, or who was allegedly, at least they're putting that on there, attacked this week
Mm.
while playing with friends outside her home in County Waterford. I said her daughter is doing a little bit better. Now, Anupa, it's not a baby formula, Anupa Akchuhan and her daughter Nia. Anupa Akchuhan said her daughter Nia was punched in the face, had her hair pulled, and was hit with the wheel of a bike by a group of 4 or 5 boys, twice her age. They called her a dirty Indian.
Ha! Okay.
and told her to go back to India.
Right.
Miss Actuan said. Now, why this is a story? Like, this isn't a fucking story. Like, this is a kid. Like, if it even happened, I don't even know if it fucking happened. To be honest, who does? You know.
And people are saying that it was actually travelers, and
Mm,
like someone outside of Ireland would be like, "Well, what does that? They're Irish. What does that make a difference?" Well, we know that travelers, they just attack people anyway, and they'll call you any sorts of names,
yeah,
whatever the one is closest to hand, and that will actually hurt you.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's usually prefaced with dirty, like
yeah,
you dirty Down syndrome, you dirty Indian,
yeah,
you
yeah. With
dirty.
dirty with a U. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So, and again, like, who cares if it is a fucking knacker or not? Like, it's like, okay, yeah, a dirty Indian, and told her to go back to India. It's like, boo fucking who? Like, this is part of childhood behavior, It's like, we
yeah.
don't know what happened. Like, so she was hit with how could she be hit with a wheel of a bike? So it sounds to me like if it was a bunch of travelers, they're just cycling by.
Mm,
Um, I don't know. This happens at 8 o'clock at night or something like that. So people are asking, well, what the fuck are you doing, leaving your 6-year-old out on the street at 8 o'clock
yeah.
at night? Surely she should be, in bed, or at least in the house, or to be supervised or something like it.
Mm.
If it was fucking Calcutta, she'd be gone. Uh,
I,
she'd never to be seen again. So, if that
I
did
laughed,
happen,
but that wasn't actually funny. But go on.
um, nervous laughter. Yeah, so
Yeah,
someone just probably comes up on the bike. She's in the way, stops in
right.
front of her, told her to move or something. The kid doesn't move or can't understand English. I don't fucking know.
Mm, yeah,
And then she doesn't move, and it's like, okay, you dirty Indian, go back to India. And
yeah.
then, where then does the punch come in? So someone has to get off the bike
Mm,
to give her a few punches, then get back on the bike, and then go away. So let's see. Nia was born in
mm.
Ireland, and her mother has worked as a nurse here for the past 8 years. There we go, a nurse. Okay, so again, goddess. There are no more saintly people in the world than nurses. And just let it be known that a lot of nurses marry guards. So that should be enough to tell you there that there's something deeply fucking wrong with the mind of a nurse. I know they look after people and they look after the sick, and we're all supposed to go, oh my god, like, what a fucking what amazing people. No, it's just a job, okay?
Mm.
Like any other job, it's just a job, but it's an essential job, and because it's essential, they must be worshipped, and especially if they're foreign, it makes sense that if you're going to be subdued as a people, well then you have to be at the bottom of the fucking totem pole, and then look up to these amazing creatures who are just inherently better than you based on their color. It's almost as if there's some sort of brown supremacy at work
Mm.
here that's telling white people that they're less uh, than these people. Nia's grandparents. Oh Jesus Christ! He interviewed her grandparents living in Kerala, southern India, were so shocked to hear of the really racist attack on their granddaughter. Oh,
Really
really a racist
racist.
attack? Oh goodness gracious me! Little Nia has been the subject of a really racist attack. Oh dear goodness. We need to come to terrible Ireland straight away. Yeah, they learned about it when it was reported in the Indian media, Mr. Achuktan said,
Yeah,
noting,
that's how close Indian families are, by the way.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, there's this fucking team of Indians now. The whole village is on the next flight over
Yeah.
to sort out poor fucking Nia. Uh, Noting the widespread media coverage in India, the Department of Foreign Affairs spokesman said there was no doubt these attacks damage Ireland's reputation. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, how about tell them, listen, oh, give over, you bunch of fucking faggots, for Christ's sake. Some
Mm.
kid got into a fucking argument and boo fucking who. Yeah, let's get prime time over to India, see what's going on in Indian streets and how the Indians are treating each other and how their kids are getting along with each other. Go fuck yourself. Um, the work of Ireland's embassy in New Delhi to promote Ireland as a destination for students, tourism, and business is also damaged. Good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's great. Keep more of it. It's like we need more fucking beating of Indian children. If this was all it took, who fucking knew, The very small Irish community in India is equally appalled by these attacks, the spokesman said. Concerns have been raised to the embassy from the Indian government, civil society organisations, and many Indian people with connections to Ireland. Jesus fucking Christ!
Wait,
Yeah, need to be.
hold up there a second. Dude said, back up, Morgan, you missed the important bit. If she didn't understand what was said, how could she report the abusive terms? Did you
Uh,
miss something there? Or did we miss something?
Whereabouts? Where do we need to go back to? Dude, if you can just type in there.
Yeah, that would be handy. Thanks. Um, I
Uh,
don't know.
yeah. So the
Well,
mother.
you know, hmm?
Sorry, go on. I'll scan through it here, see if I can
it,
pick up.
it's it is, yeah, actually pretty likely that an 8-year-old daughter of an Indian family in Ireland doesn't speak English.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. We don't fucking know. Anyway, the very small Irish community in India is equally appalled by these attacks. Concerns have been raised to the embassy from the Indian government. So blah. Ireland's ambassador to India, Kevin Kelly, wrote an article in the Hindustan Times saying the people of Ireland stand with the Indian community and will continue to stand firmly against racism in all its forms. All these people need to go. Every last fucking one of them. This is an embarrassment. Um, that this is news. That this is an international incident because someone from India left India to live in fucking Ireland for a better life, and their child gets, into an incident where someone calls, go back to India. And even if she was punched, so fucking what? Like,
Yeah.
kids punch each other every day. Is it the greatest way to behave? No, it's not. But that's it. It's not an international fucking incident. There's no need for ambassadors to be apologizing because some knacker fucking, upset an 8-year-old Indian fucking girl. And we don't even know what happened. Like, I've seen pictures of the girl the next day. There's no signs of any bruising on her face. They didn't speak to the child; they're just speaking to the parents, and the parents are, asking what happened. You can't believe children. I know people say children never lie. I have a rake of them; they lie all the fucking time. You can't believe anything that comes out of their fucking mouths. Like if you ask them, like, were you punched? Yeah, I was punched. Were you punched by an alien with a fucking with a pink head? Yeah, I was punched by an alien on a pink head. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, they just don't. Um, Need to be interrogated. That's what we need. We need a Department of Child Interrogation, especially an Indian child interrogation unit. The Indian community is an integral and valued part of Irish society. Yeah. Do we need them? No. How did we manage up until now without them? I don't fucking know. Like it's a mystery to me. Should they all go back in the morning to teach us a lesson? Yes. Do. Because you just try it out. We'll see what happens. Like if somehow we can come up with a new way to look after our own health service. I don't know. Maybe we might even think, well, maybe we might want to pay these people a bit fucking more, or give them some incentives to fucking stay instead. No, it's easier to just send out a delegation to fucking India, have a big marketing campaign to pick up some cheap nurses, and we'll bring them to Ireland and subsidise them. And then what we'll do is later in the line, when a minor event happens, we'll fucking rile everybody up. So all the Indians are now terrified, thinking that the Irish people fucking hate them. And all the paddies who are sick to their fucking back teeth already of being told of how useful and fucking, replaceable they are will be even more fucking enraged. So now when you have to go to hospital and you're sitting there and then an Indian nurse walks out and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we fucking go now. This cunt hates me and is probably going to, inject me with some sort of saline solution because she thinks, the Irish person's a racist piece of shit. And the Irish person looking at this nurse thinks that she's looking down on him like he's some fucking leper or something, which would make sense considering I think they still have a leprosy problem in India. So why the fuck they're in our hospitals is a mystery to me. Hope they're screening for that at least when they come in. More than 78,000 Indian nationals were living in the Republic of Ireland in 2023. Population estimates from the Central Statistics Office show that was under 2% of the state's total population of about 5.2 million. Well, that's okay. 2% is okay. Isn't it? Like 4% is okay. 8%, 9%. Is it, when is it not okay? When it gets into double figures, is it? Or, well, that's okay. Like, and they're good. They're the good ones, the nurses, like the people in charge of your fucking health. Great. In all, 13,500 Indian nationals were granted skilled employment permits by the Department of Enterprise last year, amounting to a third of all permits issued. Okay, that's great. So we're getting all the good Indians. We're getting the nurses, the doctors, the engineers, and the IT people, like, so. And I believe Indians are they're they're very compliant, like they do whatever the fuck they're told, and that's what we want in the health service, isn't it? Given what's happened in the last couple of years, we want people who will not going to question any fucking thing. Really, it's like, what's the important thing here? The important thing is that you don't have to go back to India, and so you'll do whatever the hospital tells you to do. Yeah, give that person their 15 different fucking injections immediately, one after another. Yes, sir, diggity do. They don't want to go back to fucking India. The same with their doctors. The same with the people in IT as well. That's what we want, isn't it? Checking everybody's post to make sure that they're in line. Is it a team of Indians scouring over all your fucking private correspondence, flagging it to different Guardian departments, which will happen now because that's next, isn't it? That's what they want now with this new legislation introduced to give them access, essentially unfettered access to all your private messages that are supposed to be encrypted. So who's going to be monitoring that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
Maybe a bunch of fucking Indians. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Many Indians in Ireland work for the healthcare service or in the tech sector. Nearly 18,500 Indian nurses and midwives are registered to work alongside their 54,000 Irish colleagues. Figures provided by the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland, blah, blah, blah. Chairman of the Ireland India Council, Prashant Sukla, I don't know why I said that with a Klingon accent, but there's no other way to say it, warned of the effects of these recent attacks we're having on the... Nobody cares. If you're that fucking weak to begin with, go home. You don't belong here. If, 4 incidents of, name calling and someone got beaten up for what we don't know. We don't know if they're beaten up because they were fucking Indian. I really don't think there's anybody that's stupid in Ireland who's just going to beat somebody up because they're fucking Indian.
Yeah.
I really don't. And if it is happening, the numbers have got to be so small that it's inconsequential. You get beaten up for the stupidest things, like for wearing the wrong types of runners. That will probably get you beaten up quicker than simply being fucking Indian. And again, Indians over here, they're known as a little bit rapey, but generally people tend to leave them to their own devices.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been any a large outcry of get the Indians out. Now, we're probably one of the few voices that have been saying get them out. Not because they're Indian; they could be from fucking anywhere. It's just we want to have a country that is able to look after itself. We don't need to be looked after. In any way, shape, or form, we are more than capable of looking after ourselves if given half the fucking chance. But we don't get to do that because we have, unfortunately, a fucking tyrannical state that lords it over us and cares nothing of nationhood. So that's what we're unfortunately up against. And unless we start smuggling Indians out of the country and just start posting them en masse or something like that, it's going to be an uphill fucking battle, and they really should stay quiet. Like, this isn't the way to ingratiate yourself to a people, like whining and moaning about inconsequential shit. And I'm sure there must be many an Indian out there who are saying, "What the fuck is this about? Like, this is just causing unnecessary friction between communities." Like there's no great pogrom against Indians or anybody.
Well, we personally know an Indian who, we haven't asked him, but I'm sure he'd say that just that.
Yeah, but we don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Indians. They're just being fucking spat on the street. But if it's not happening, it will happen eventually because there's only so much people can fucking take. And they'll take it out on somebody, anybody, and eventually it will get to the state. Especially if this is shoved down their throat every single fucking day, that you must worship at the altar of India and of the nurses and the great doctors. And if it wasn't for these people, you fucking leches wouldn't be alive for more than a week. It's like, okay, well, we'll show you. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
John Waters wrote a book called "Give Us Back the Bad Roads" in response to the changes that this country has undergone in the decades prior to, I think, 2015. And that's in response to the whole thing of like, oh, the EU, they gave us all the roads. Well, give me those roads back. I don't mind. And I would love to live in a country that just completely fucking collapses overnight if these fucking annoying pricks weren't here. I would take that trade off. No hesitation.
Yeah, and I don't even think it would have to be that. I have enough belief in the people in this country and other people in
Yeah.
other countries as well that you can somehow manage.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But this, whatever's happening now, it serves very few fucking people, and it doesn't serve the nation, the people of this country, the Irish, the vast majority of Irish people. It doesn't serve them, and even those who think it serves them, it doesn't long term. It doesn't, And if you think of your children and their children's children, it's not going to be too long before us white people, and I hate even thinking those fucking terms, where we'll only be seen in books and the hieroglyphs of the future, where you'll have African Americans claiming that they're one of the lost tribes of Ireland, that they're descended from great Irish tribes that are long gone down the fucking path of history. Mr. Shukla noted the widespread coverage of these attacks by the Indian media, saying the reaction in India has been one of shock, sadness, and growing. Nobody cares. Okay, I'll just let you tell you now. I don't care what any Indian thinks about what's going on there. I couldn't give a flying fuck. And I don't really think Indians are that concerned either. Oh my God, our people are being attacked in Ireland. Well, fuck off home. It's that simple. Like, could you imagine if I went to India and I was attacked on the street? What would happen? Nothing. If 100 Irish people were attacked, well, nothing. What's happening over there with Christians? Like, they're being fucking persecuted. I didn't know about this until very recently. But just Christians being attacked because they have laws over there that prevent them from trying to recruit people to their religion. And then if somebody does happen to convert to Christianity, the local Hindus get in a panic and start attacking the local fucking churches and start persecuting the Christians that are there, my advice to them would be, get the fuck out of them, leave them, give them their fucking Hinduism, like forget it, like, Jesus just sort of put some clause in there, like if they don't want it, leave it. Let them come to you, like don't bother with the whole fucking go forth and preach and all that kind of nonsense.
Wait, no, that's exactly what he said, though. In much more archaic terms. Yeah.
Yeah. But, so come to Christ. Christ won't go to you. It's not like if that's Muhammad, isn't it? If the mountain won't come to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the mountain or some shit like that. What we're now witnessing is a sharp and alarming escalation. No, it's not. It's a fucking blip.
Well, yeah, when you have like years and years and years and years of nothing happening, and then you eke out a few examples, and oh my God, it's exploded by 3,000%
overnight. What we're now witnessing is a sharp and alarming escalation, both in frequency and brutality of attacks targeting members of the Indian community. But that's a problem right there, the Indian community. Bollocks. If you're coming to Ireland, you have to be part of the Irish community because it's not good for a society to have different communities in enclaves within it. Because again, we could just look around the world and see how that fucking ends,
Yeah.
But
and look, the Indians, they're not like living in ghettos, there's not like one street you go to and it's all Indians. Actually, no, wait. Now there is. Never mind. No, never mind. But what my point was going to be was that now, like, the world is a ghetto. Everyone's in a ghetto of their own, living in the same fucking shared spaces.
Yeah.
Like, how often have you interacted with Indians?
Yeah, the only time I interact with an Indian is normally in a healthcare setting. That's it. And mainly because my doctor,
and that doesn't count.
Yeah, my doctor is Indian, and to be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck he's saying half the time. I'm just sitting there, nodding and fucking smiling and laughing at him, like, because I can't understand the accent. Now, he's a nice guy. He's friendly. He told me, his son smokes weed and all that kind of stuff. So he's great. Like I have that people, think I'm interested when I'm talking to them, like, so they tend to open up, like I'm just killing fucking time, so, to get around. Okay, and he generally gives me what I want. If I say I want this, that, and the other, it's like, yeah, certainly, there you go.
Nice.
And he's a nice man, but he's Indian, and he will remain Indian. He's telling me like his daughter's getting married. It's an arranged marriage. He said they're
Wow.
essentially Irish because they were born here, but
Hmm.
they're keeping their tradition, like so, and that will carry on
Yep.
at least for a couple of generations. But with the Indian community, I think there's maybe a couple of countries where they've integrated properly, like Uganda and a couple of the African countries. While they were welcome there, unfortunately, it went sour for them as well because they were
Hmm.
kicked out of many countries as well. Not because they did anything terribly wrong, but it's just one of those factors of human nature, that
Hmm.
eventually when you get an influx of new people into your community who are easily identifiable, unfortunately, by the color of their skin,
Hmm.
and they tend to do better than other members of society for whatever reason. It's not because they're Indian; it's because they're coming from an educated class in India. Well, then people naturally become envious
Hmm.
and jealous of those particular people. And it's like, well, why the fuck do these
Yeah.
people? Why did we need them? Why couldn't we just have Irish people? And why can't we now aspire to those positions? And what tends to happen is those
Hmm.
jobs tend to become intergenerational. Where if your father's a doctor, well,
Hmm.
the son is a doctor, and we see that a lot with Indians, that they will push their children to be doctors and engineers, and then we have a new caste system where all of a sudden all medical professions just so happen to be Indian,
Hmm.
and with a sprinkling of Irish doctors.
Uh,
Um,
you 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 touched on something very important there. Um, it, which Indians are we getting? You pointed out that we're actually getting the intelligent ones. Um, because it's an awful fucking place. Most Indians themselves would agree. It has a lot of problems. It's largely still an agricultural country. That's how they make most of their money. Is agriculture. This isn't just these people aren't like from the slums of Calcutta, and their name got drawn out of a hat, and they got to go to a nice university where they learn to be a nurse or a doctor or what have you. Um, they are of a particular caste of
mhm.
Indians, and isn't it kind of fucked up then that we're importing that caste? They are the ones that get to come here,
Yeah,
and they get to come here and then be still in that caste system. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then if you have a government blowing smoke up their ass,
Mm,
cherishing them and coddling them, and telling them how awful this is. Like
yeah.
the parents of this child are asking for fucking. They want a counselor for the child. They want a counselor for themselves. It's like, get the fuck out. Like, get on with it. Like, the
Mm,
child got called a name, and maybe got a slap from a traveller. Well, welcome to fucking Ireland. That's what we've been
yeah.
moaning about the travellers for fucking ever, because they're more aggressive than the settled community, and they tend to solve things quickly with violence. Oh, don't mention that. Like, Jesus Christ, that's some racism right there. Like, calling things as they actually fucking are. Like, um, there's a
Hmm.
palpable fear among Indian parents whose children live in Ireland, and a sense of
Is
disbelief
there?
that such targeted violence could occur in a country with which India shares historically warm relations.
Is there though? Like it?
No,
Did they go around talking to Indians and asking, like, how do you feel about that?
yeah,
No, no, they
no, of course not. Maybe three Indians or four fucking
didn't.
Indians. Like, how do you feel about that?
Self-selected, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, who's going to say, like, what do you go? Yeah, that's terrible. Did you hear about that child who was beaten up the other day? Like, that's terrible, isn't it? It's a rare person who says, well, actually, hang on a moment. Was it? Did she deserve it? What did she do? People generally don't think like that. It's like, oh yeah, it's
No.
it's terrible, is it? Why did it happen? Oh, it was a racist attack. Why was it a racist attack? Because she was
Hmm.
Indian. Okay, so what if the child is African? Well, then it's a racist attack. It's only not a racist attack if the victim happens to be the same color as the perpetrator. Then it's what? Just
Hmm.
you know what?
Right.
A
Yeah.
misunderstanding? No,
And
it's just fucking kids being
yeah,
kids.
yeah. And what is it called when an Irish woman goes to India and then gets brutally raped and murdered and left in a ditch? What's that called?
I don't know, a bonus, like, or like a bank holiday weekend and for Indians. Like, do they have a festival name for the thing? Yeah. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. I can't even believe I'm talking about it. Um, but we have to, because this isn't going to end here. Like, it's not like this just happens out of the fucking ether, or that it's just the journal. It's the journal. It's the Irish Times. It's RTE. I think there's now prime timer on the case. It's morning television, and it's not going to end here. Like, as soon as our fucking politicians get back into the doll, like, you can guarantee they're going to run with this horseshit as well. Like, and they'll have like a series of Indian programming. I don't know. Does Fair City have any Indian characters in the cast? I'm sure they must. But if they don't, they will now. Like, so they'll have a nurse character who will come into Fair City and start lecturing the retards who are watching at home about how important it is that we honor and worship these people. The main character will probably have a heart attack or something, and some Indian will just be walking by and magically fucking save him. It's cartoonish, really. There's palpable fear among Indian parents whose children live in Ireland. I wouldn't go to India. Like, I'm so frightened of India. I wouldn't go. Like, I've seen videos. It looks fucking awful. It has to be said. Like, and you see, it's the only I watch travel videos on YouTube sometimes, and the only real time you hear people complaining about the place they went to, and I've seen people go to some terrible fucking places, is India. Like, nobody likes it. Nobody, like, they've been to Pakistan. They've come from Pakistan. They say Pakistan, it was very poor. The people are terribly impoverished, but the people are friendly. They're offering them, would you come in and have a cup of tea? No, no, don't pay, don't pay. Have something. No, don't pay, don't pay. The minute they get into India, they're trying to fleece them. It's like, you have money. Like, where's the money? Give us the money. And that's the thing with Indians. There's not many countries that have entire fucking industries built around defrauding old white people. Why isn't that in the fucking Hindustan Times? And what's wrong with your people that they set up call centers to take money off poor elderly people in the West? Like, what the fuck is that about? Come on. Above all, we urge Irish authorities to respond decisively and visibly to prevent the normalisation of such violence. Ireland's reputation as a safe and just society depends on how we handle moments like this, Mr. Shuckla said. Shuckla my balls.
Hey-o!
Mr. Akutan echoed this sentiment in the aftermath of the attack. The aftermath of, what is it, fucking Hiroshima? The aftermath. What, someone had to wipe some fucking paprika off their knuckles because it leached out of the little bitch's skin. She received a response from so many lovely Irish people, many of whom I don't know personally. Some told her they were ashamed to be Irish.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, kill yourself. Fuck it. Yeah, go out to the fucking car, just get the Hoover, fucking attach it to the fucking gas pipe or whatever the fuck it's called, the exhaust pipe, and just suck deep and just do us all a favor and fucking take yourself out of the fucking race altogether.
I'll help you, just...
I'll pay for the fuel. Fuck it. But that's not right. Nobody thinks this is a racist country, she said. Well, clearly you fucking do. The Irish Times does, the fucking journal does, RTE does.
We're being told a vastly different story.
Yeah, like 4 fucking people.
Right. So what's this about? In the chat, I'm seeing the child said that she wasn't hit in the head, but in the genitals.
It was the bike. It was the wheel of the bike that hit her in the genitals. So
that's a really low bike, like with tiny wheels.
Yeah, well, they were children, and travelers. So travelers, they cycle around on those bikes with small wheels. Apparently, I don't know. Maybe it was.
Is it one of those ones in the circus of the clowns?
Yeah, it was a circus troupe, that Fawcett Circus was in town at the day, and the Carney children went on a fucking rampage on their unicycles. So I can imagine it's somebody, if the wheel's hitting her in the crotch, it's got to be somebody who's cycling down the path. She runs out from a garden, perhaps, you
Yeah,
know,
as
and then
children do.
and then the guy on the bike, hits into her, pulls on the brake, stops, and the bike hits her between the legs, because that's generally what you do when people freeze up. And then there's probably a case of like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get out of the way. You nearly maybe come off the bike.
Yeah.
And then they see it's an Indian looking girl. So it's like, oh, fuck off, you dirty Indian. Go back to India or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they cycle off. Like where the punch in the head comes in, I don't know. I've never, I don't think I've ever heard of an 8-year-old girl being punched in the head by a teenage boy. It's the first time I've ever. I'm sure it happens, but it would be so fucking rare, and especially out of nowhere. Like, you're not just going to bunch of rowdy teenagers cycling around the town looking for Indians to pummel at 8 p.m. at night. It's like, yeah, I hear they come out when it's dark. They feed at nighttime when the paprika plant is ripe. The curry sauce is fucking. It has to be picked at the right time, for it to be perfect. So we listen to these people as well. Like, we have to
All
fucking
right.
see them as well. Where are we?
Yeah. Dude says you missed something in the article where it contradicts itself. I think he's referring to the woman saying that Ireland isn't racist. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it's going back to his original point about where the child didn't understand what was said. Yeah, we can take that as a strength. Like that, like we said, the child's not going to understand. It's essentially your parents are going to tell her what happened, like through leading questions. It's like, oh, did he punch you? Yes. Where did he punch you? In the leg? Yes. You sure? No. Where was it? Yeah, we'll never fucking know, and it's like, nobody's going to cross-examine a child on television.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Ugh. 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 Yuck.
Well, the furniture, or well, there's lots.
Yeah.
I'm really scared and so sad, like, and I'm not feeling safe even at my home. I don't have anywhere
Even at
strict.
your home.
The only thing.
Yeah.
Even at your fuck off. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
At your fucking home. Fuck you.
That's, I mean, like, what is India? Some sort of like, I would have thought it would be kind of the people would be more resilient, rather than they're now terrified to leave the fucking house.
Well, I mean, maybe, this just goes to the point again of like, these are privileged Indians, they come from a higher stock and they live in these nice little fucking garden communities. And then just outside the wall is, the endless fucking ghetto.
Maybe this guy, he's looking kind of fieldy to me. It looks like he belongs in a field. There's that torn in the eye. That's like, there's at least 2 generations of inbreeding going on there. There's something amiss with this guy, just by looking at him.
Well, I mean, look, the best of a bad lot,
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose. And there's a lot of them as well, isn't it? Like, there's 1.5 billion of them or something like that. So yeah, the world doesn't need more Indians. If anything, it needs less Indians. And the clue is in the name of the country. That's generally where the people, from that place should be. Is in fucking India, and it steals their country of these people. Where are they going to look now for fucking healthcare workers?
Yeah,
there's nobody.
train.
Yeah, there's nobody beyond India. Like, that's the end of the barrel. There's nowhere to go beyond that. But these people brought this shit on. Like, so if you want to play fucking games, well, then we're more than happy to play games with these people. And again, like, what the fuck is this? Like, the whole setup is rotten. Like, it's if one of my kids come in and told me, Daddy, somebody ran into me on a bike and punched me, I would be upset. I'd be like, who the fuck did it? Like, who was it? Like, do you know who it was? And then if I knew who it was, you'd go to the parents' house and say, listen, what the fuck's going on here? Like, your kid's 12, my kid is fucking 6. This needs to be sorted out. If the kid was the same age, I would ask, well, did you punch him fucking back? No, why not? Like, what are you doing? Are you gay? Is that what you're telling me? You're 6 now. Like, you can tell me. Like, but you would tell the child, don't let somebody fucking do that, or come in immediately. But I wouldn't have my 8-year-old out on the street at 8 o'clock at night, especially if he wasn't fucking supervised. It's just silly.
These days, I mean, if we could get away with it in the 90s and before, I think.
Yeah, even
But,
that, like, yeah, unless the
like,
child runs away. But yeah, in this day and age, people generally don't. Normally because there's
yeah.
fucking Indians going around, making dates with fucking 10-year-old girls
Oof.
online. It's yeah. Let's see the
th-
stats on that.
yeah. By the way, Doris K has an interesting suggestion.
Mhm.
She's not even their daughter. Look at her face.
Mm.
That's a different breed of Indian, isn't it?
It's a
It
much
really,
darker Indian, yeah.
yeah, they're a different ethnic group, I think.
Yeah, that's like some sort of Afghani cave dweller looking child. I don't mean that in a derogatory term, but it is something you see on the National Geographic, isn't it? If her eyes were green or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, maybe that child, same kind of tone, skin. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
it's a
poor
bit
lighting because
weird.
she's lighter over here, but she's
Maybe the wife is cheating.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. KO says the smug, condescending look on the mother. No, that's just how they're.
How
That's
Indians
their
look.
resting face. Yeah.
Resting bitch face.
I wasn't able to protect my daughter at that time.
Because you were inside drinking fucking tea. That's why you thought Irish people were bad for tea. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
can't protect your kids all the fucking time. Like, see,
Wait, hold on. Where's Tuzla?
yeah, exactly.
You know what? Let's ring up Tuzla and report this incident.
I wouldn't wish that even on an Indian. Like, to give the child to gay fucking parents, two
Oh my
gay
God.
lads from fucking.
Sex trafficking as well. Jesus, no,
Yeah.
actually, scratch that. No. That's terrible. I can't believe I just said that.
I'm not getting much support. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Well, what sort of report do you want? Oh, someone
No.
ran into my child. She ran out in the street at 8 o'clock at night, and the guy stopped on the bike and told her to fuck off. Like, what do you want? Like a counselling, a curry special. What the fuck do you need? Like, it's like you just tell the child, get over it. Don't be fucking stupid. If you see a bunch of knackers coming down the road on their bikes, get in off the fucking road. Don't look at them. Pretend they don't exist. I don't know. Carry a bar of soap with you. They're allergic to that, so just wave it at them.
Look, these people come from a country, right, where your child could get abducted off of the street and the abductors will cut off their arm and then force them to be beggars so that, dumb fucking tourists think, oh, look at that maimed child. I'll give it money.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be, sometimes you just need to be fucking quiet, okay? Like, and how does this, like, who thinks, okay, do you know what I'll do? My child is just being mildly verbally abused, and, there's a possibility that she was punched in the head. Doesn't look to be any real damage. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm ringing the newspapers. Like, have you ever in your life thought, like, do you know what I need to do after I need to contact the newspapers? Bollocks. I don't think that's anybody's first, second, third, maybe not even their 10th thing they think about when they've suffered some sort of mild inconvenience where a child has been assaulted. The amount of times I've got calls from the school saying, your child has been hit in the head with a hurley or whatever the fucking is. Like, if my child, they was called in for a racist incident, my child said somebody looked like the same color as shit, so that warranted a letter home saying, your child, it's unacceptable, and I'm like, well, in fairness, like, I'm colorblind, but in fairness, the color of shit and the color of this child pretty fucking similar. If I was to take two photos, I should have went up with two photos and said, well, which one is the shit and which one is the child, and let's examine this properly before we start accusing my child of being a fucking a racist because someone says someone looked the color of poo.
Yeah, KO in the chat says the child looks to her like the one from The Ring, the one that climbs out of the TV.
Yeah, it's a evil fucking child. Like, I don't think there's a soul in this child. Like, isn't there something deeply evil?
Actually, she looks like a doll, like those dead eyes. Just
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
there is no child.
yeah. Have we seen the child? It's an animatronic child. Like,
Do you feel that your nationality was a factor in this incident?
that's not a leading question, is it? Like, do you feel this racist attack had anything got to do with your nationality?
Yeah, I can't. That's the only thing scaring me now. I didn't realize that's my nationality because my girl, she expressed at the night after the incident that I mean the
My girl. What would you not call her daughter? She was.
I'm not going to nitpick at that, but she said the night after, and then she fucking went to amend what she said.
Look at these butterfly earrings. Are they monarchs? MK Ultra program at work. Sorry, we got back there. She said the day after, was it?
incident that I mean the gang who punched her. They were telling go back to India, something like that. Dirty Indian, go back. That was so upsetting. Like I didn't realize I didn't belong here. That's so upsetting.
Yeah, it could be just get off the path, Indian. I'm on a fucking bike here. Like, don't they have bikes in India? You just stand there like looking like the girl out of the ring. Like, you aren't affected by bikes, or she's some power of telekinesis or something like that.
Have you ever had any racial problems yourself? You've been in Ireland for, I think, 8 years. Have you ever had any problems yourself?
What I believe is that there will be good and bad people in and around. I had few incidents, like it's not really upsetting. Like, I'm not a person.
Well, at least we know where they live anyway. If we're looking for their house, like if those teenagers are looking for the house, like to go back.
Oh no!
Yeah, because if I know travellers, there's nothing more they like than being called out, and that will put an end to any problems you have with travellers. Just make a call out video, accusing them of all sorts of stuff. And is that a caravan? Are they living next to a halting site? Does that look like the reflection of a caravan?
Keen eye.
Yeah. They put these dopey Indians in a halting site, like they've moved them into a traveller fucking housing estate or something like that.
Who always taking things, like that. But this is the first incident that happened to my family, and I know that I'm not the only person who is, experiencing this.
Was that a smoke alarm? Was that a fucking smoke alarm?
Oh no!
Who is,
I don't know. One more time. It was very dull, wasn't it? Maybe it's an Indian smoke alarm. It's more of a bong than a chirp. It's more of an ohm.
I'm not the only person who is, experiencing these kind of things, starting from the Dublin to Waterford. And I think it's not the only single incident.
Yeah, that's what I value in a nurse, difficult to understand. When you're lying there at your weakest, your most vulnerable, is to have, someone who your life could possibly depend on, and not be able to understand the word they're fucking telling you. And she can't understand what you're saying either. Yeah.
Here, these things are happening to many individuals. And I have talked to a few of my friends. They have incidents, something like that. And I don't think that the system is supporting us completely.
How is your daughter now?
She's getting better now. She was so emotionally upset.
Not a fucking mark on her. Look, can you see any bruising?
No.
Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Now, I don't know. Maybe they don't bruise the same way as normal people do.
And look, she's fucking 8. She's delicate.
Yeah.
Like something had to have gone wrong with her physically that should be visible. She should be, I don't know, a little bit in pain, maybe?
Yeah, something. To me, it just seems someone fucking was cycling on the path. She got in the way. They pulled on the brakes and told her to, get off the road, you stupid fucking Indian, or go back to India. And then they cycled away. And that was it. And then she ran in crying, like.
She couldn't sleep. Last night she had bad dreams, and she was, wake up and down like that. But I'm trying my best to bring my cheerful girl back. She's always a joyful girl. So I believe I have to give her emotional support, because
that's why I need to fucking re-traumatize her. Tell this horrible story while you're fucking holding her there against her will. I mean, come on, what is that?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, don't fucking move, stay here, even though you're fidgeting, you want to do something else,
Yeah.
you just want to go and be a child. I am going to recount and probably exaggerate this, formative, horrible experience that you had. It was probably horrible for her, but it's being made worse. She's traumatizing that child.
Yeah, and what's this guy like? Did these Indians like? Do they stink? Look how far he is away with the microphone. It's like he can't stand to be around them. Like it's like, eh. Like, don't breathe on me. Yeah, and like does this affect the dowry price now as well? Like she's damaged goods because she was punched by a couple of knackers. Like so, they're maybe worried about a future dowry.
No.
My poor daughter was punched, but we cannot wait to give her away to one of our cousins because we like to keep it in the family. Fuck me.
Oh.
After that incident, she said she don't want to play outside with her friends. She's so scared she will be attacked by other, kids. So I'm trying my best to bring her back. That's what I can do.
Bring her back. Fuck off. Fucking like, is it the poltergeist like where she's been taken by a demon somewhere and we need to get a specialist to bring her back through the fucking TV? Ugh. Right, I need to make a cup of tea because I'm the anger levels are just building, and we've 2 more videos to get through. You'll be happy to know.
All right.
So yeah, when we come back, we'll look at daytime TV appearance, and then we'll have a special guest who will give us their take on the whole incident as well. So I don't have anything queued up by ways.
I can take care of that.
Cool.
With something interesting,
Fucking hair, looking like an Indian hair. I need a haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, you worry too much, man. It's looking good.
Yeah. So vain,
you just feel like shit. That's all.
That's it. Yeah. I'm just fucking sweating here like a dirty Indian on a hot day in Calcutta.
Would it be so much to ask for, I don't know, a fucking breeze maybe to come in the fucking window, get some earth circulation going?
I need to hire some Indians to wave fans either side of me while I do this in future. Like that would be fun, wouldn't it? Couldn't be that expensive either, could it? Like it's like for just an hour, like 50 quid an hour. To have an Indian either side of me fanning me down while I insult them, verbally abuse them. All right, I'll be back in 5.
All right, yeah. So I'm just going to play a little bit of this video here that I came across just before the show. Gen Z, they're like in their 20s now. And they have some, interesting thoughts about the world that they grew up in, and yeah, I think things are going on a positive trajectory when you realize that the youngins are awake and they're thinking and they're noticing. So see you in a few minutes. Oh dear, I closed the wrong thing. Let me pull that back up again. Oh, Howard.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jimmy Talks. All right, listen up, because a Black Queen is speaking. We, as Gen Z, I'm speaking for specifically, we've been alive for the whole damn 20-year sandbox war. Literally from the moment the towers came down in 2001, not all of you, but the older Gen Zs, to the last second, the last cargo plane took off of Afghanistan in 2021. I actually have a friend of mine who was there in the Afghan pullout. That motherfucker said it was insane. I told him, I was like, hey, dude, you are a part of history. But anyways, still, nobody's given us a straight answer, though. Why the hell were we even there? Kids born in 2001, they can buy beer now. And the average explanation in a classroom is still this in 2025. Oh, terrorist. Oh, it was the terrorist, bro. Cool. Very helpful. And you also remember the vibe back then? Dude, everything felt better. Like, colors had more fucking color to them. They were more vibrant. GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation, these just masterpieces of gaming systems. The sun was like fucking orange. The sky was blue. The birds actually sang instead of the muffled monotone stereo sounds we get now. McDonald's still had the jungle gym, and you could get fucking, I don't even know what kind of diseases you could get. It was a rite of passage, though. You get pink eye. Now we've got the same burgers, the same grease, but a kid can't climb anything because apparently everything's unsafe, or really it costs too much money, so they're saying fuck them kids. The houses used to be mismatched. You'd go hang out with your boys, right? The houses wouldn't all be cookie cutter and looking exactly the same. They used to be mismatched. They had vinyl sidings that were not the same color on each side or the same shape. The yards were big enough for a pool or a slip and slide, which I never see anymore. And everything looked different. The houses all had trees and bushes out front. Now the new houses, the new apartment buildings, they're just gray rectangles, and they're stacked like Legos by some hedge fund in New York City or Los Angeles who's never going to step foot in the neighborhood or even knows where it is on a map. Let's zoom out a little bit. All right, let's get off the nostalgia feels a little bit. And actually, fuck that. We're going back in because that's the point of this video. Mom's car back in the day, my mom's car back in the day, was a Toyota Camry. And this was like, I don't know, 2009, 2010. She could go to the gas station and fill it up with $20, and you could even get a fucking Slurpee on the way out. Okay, maybe not $20 for both of them, but you catch the drift, right? Eggs, when you go to the store, they used to be just like, yeah, just grab them. Their fucking eggs are like $2, like $1. Now it's like, do I want to spend $7 on some fucking eggs? In middle school, I remember a 2-bedroom apartment was like $500 a month with utilities. That same apartment now is probably like $3,000 a month, plus a technology package fee or some other fake and gay retarded bullshit. Because apparently the fiber line is worth more than anything. I don't know. It's more expensive now. College brochures. They used to tell you, and in high school, just get a degree because the earnings premium will cover the financing, like the student loans. Meanwhile, you have people with 2 bachelor's degree, and they sleep in an apartment with 5 fucking roommates, like they're a Somalian refugee, and they owe the government more money than their dad owes on the house that he bought for the family in like fucking 1994. Parents in 2008, we may not remember this. The parents in 2008, because we're talking about Gen Z here, they were yelling at each other over like money and shit. We had no clue what the fuck was going on. We're just trying to beat Guitar Hero 3. Okay, that was me anyways. If you played Rock Band back then, I don't know. It's kind of shit. I'm not gonna lie. Guitar Hero was it was mo better. All right, but no one would tell you the whole entire global economy got leveraged by the same banks that still give politicians campaign cash. We knew something died. We just didn't know its name. The death later translated into like $7, $8 fucking cartons of eggs, expensive ass groceries, expensive apartments, and then like this permanent inflation that the government insists is transitory somehow for 15 years. Like it's transitory for 15 years. Fucking die. Why the wars as well? We were told the usual shit, like they hate our freedoms or whatever. Sure, whatever. Then the PowerPoint slides shifted from Afghanistan because Osama hid in a cave to Iraq because weapons of mass destruction is definitely not the clean break memo that's been floating around since 1996. Nobody, don't Google that. Don't Google clean break memo where it says we need to take out Israel's neighbors, and that's why there's been instability in the Middle East in the past 2 or 3 decades. 20 years, trillions spent, thousands of kids returned in fucking caskets, hundreds of thousands of civilians dead in deserts, people I don't even know across the whole country. And then the end state of all this is the Taliban in Afghanistan. They got this fucking Gucci-ass night vision on and this ACH and this badass fucking plate carrier. And on the side of all that shit, it says property of the U.S. Army, property of the Marine Corps, property of the Air Force, property of the Navy. Right? And every time you mention this timeline to fucking normies, they look at you like someone You know, you mentioned that we're clearing the path for Israel's regional anxieties, you know, and they'll look at you like you're insane. You got the media on you, you know, you're anti-Semitic before you even finish what you're saying. Speaking of which, does anyone remember Pizzagate? Like, it kind of is just like Epstein. How did every late-night cartoon from our childhood funnel through a string of child pedophilia rings who used their casting couches to launder favors for intelligence leaks? Weinstein, same tribe. CBS, same tribe. Nickelodeon, same tribe. Coincidences just started to stack like fucking Jenga blocks. Until even the normies started noticing that every key position, from politicians to who owns the porn sites, who owns OnlyFans, who is the board executives that run Hollywood, they all have the same bar mitzvah guest list. Then AIPAC comes into play. They got more money on the fucking table than any other lobby combined. And we're supposed to pretend that doesn't shape every bipartisan vote for cluster bombs over a random desert country because of Israel's border disputes. College. We're all told to go to college. College told us race pride is cool unless you're white, in which case white pride equals genocide. Okay. What, I can't be proud of my European heritage? Black History Month, Indigenous Peoples Month, Asian and American Pacific Islander Month. Asian and American. I'm just laughing because I said that wrong. And then a pride flag emoji also, and like the pregnant man emoji. But if you talk about white history, it's like an automatic SWAT team at your door that's like ready to execute you for your thought crime. Meanwhile, drag shows marketed to third graders. We're told this is essential. We need to do this. We need to have the guy who's 35 years old who dresses like a woman reading a book to children. It's just totally necessary. Dude, that's weird. You know, but if you're a little boy and you're looking at a little girl too long when you're in school, you start going through all the puberty stuff. It becomes literal violence. That's when you're indoctrinated with all this stuff. You know, toxic masculinity seminars at work, they're fucking mandatory, or like college or some shit. You know, a male-only space is a hate group. It's awaiting the designation from the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ACLU. You know, every young boy in Gen Z, they either went along for the ride or they swallowed the serotonin depression pills, or they just dove headfirst into gym-pilled, red-pilled meme pages. Right? So here we are, Gen Z. We're all teenagers at this point. I'm talking about this timeline. We're 2016, because I'm about to talk about Trump. We're all teenagers around this time, maybe legal adults, just now becoming legal adults. Then Trump comes in. You know, Trump comes down the escalator. We wanted to believe. Drain the swamp. Awesome. Get the donors off the backs of normal Americans so that politics can actually be for the American. Fantastic. Bring back the troops and build a wall. Fucking awesome. Then the guy moved the embassy to Jerusalem like his life depended on it. Pardoned Israeli spies on his way out. Didn't help the January 6th protesters. Shrugged off his supporters and insulted them for believing Epstein didn't kill himself. That's about the moment the water went from simmering for red-pilling Gen Z en masse to it starting to be boiled. It was around this year to last year. The MAGA hero. He really became the...
Oh.
Oh, you brought me in and I brought me in at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, we need to work out whose responsibility that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I'd play this guy Jimmy Speaks. I think is his channel. I can't get with his appreciation of Nick Fuentes, but he he's a good voice of his generation, and had some insightful things to say in his little rant there.
Yeah, and it's going to get harder for people to hear anything like that as time goes on. I don't know. people have started noticing already, getting notifications on X and different social media outlets about age verification. If you got any of these, I've had a few on X telling me that this post can't be viewed until they verify my age. So until I provide them with some sort of documentation or their whatever automatic age verification system they have themselves, certain posts
Right.
hidden from me. And we have a commission in the Mon or the Ministry for Truth. Let's not give them the.
Oh yeah, well,
Or-
it definitely is. Did you hear that they they were asked to review an OPSI by RTE? RTE amended something that the Pope said to be, kind of more anti-Israel than just a general kind of call for, Oh yeah, he said we need, all the hostages need to be released, and they turned that into the Palestinian hostages need to be released, and Commission Naman looked at that and said, yeah, that's okay. So it's literally the fucking Ministry of Truth.
Yeah, there's no question about it. It doesn't even need to be argued what it is, what its purpose is. We all know the only real effort should be how do we dismantle the fucking thing, you know? And we'll probably start with the head of it, given the state of the person's face who's responsible for running the whole outfit. And like, I'm just fucking saying. So I think I'll make that a project of my own. Because there's information about the man, but there's very little real information about the man. And I don't think I'm going to find it if the internet knows I'm located in Ireland. Because again, I don't know if anyone's even looked at Google searches when you go down to the bottom and you see that nearly every Google search you make in Ireland, at the bottom of the page, it will tell you that this subject has had so many requests for information to be withdrawn from it. So if you don't have a VPN, you might get one before they're outlawed as well. I believe that's coming down the track as well, where it will be illegal to have a VPN. So we may eventually have to meet in a field somewhere and talk face to face, God forbid. But
yeah, we'll have to print out our memes and bring them with us and just change them.
Stand awkwardly in a field and wave memes and emojis.
Have you seen this one?
We get Indians to bring placards across. We can write what we want to say on the piece of paper and then get an Indian to deliver it to the person who was intended for. Fun and games anyway. Right, back to fucking Indians, so to speak. I had the pleasure of actually fucking an Indian. I said back to the fucking Indians, but I've never been involved in a romantic relationship with an Indian.
I'm curious. I'll say that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You never really see an interracial couple, do you? An Indian and a white person. It doesn't seem to be much of a thing. They normally stick to themselves.
Yep.
Right. So daytime television in Ireland, which is worse than late night television. I don't know who these people are. I think the woman is the same woman we looked at some weeks ago who was yucking it up about abortion.
Oh, no.
Yes. This burgeoning star. And then the standard gay dude. So no Irish television program is complete without a homosexual host. Maybe someone can tell me this guy's name. It escapes me at the moment. There we go. You see that okay? I know it's in the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
I think this guy's on some sort of medication. Look at the fucking state of him, like he's like heroin or something. There's something going on. So we'll have a listen to how much of the shit we can take.
Yeah, can you?
6-year-old was playing outside her own house. It was daylight, and
It wasn't broad daylight. It was 8 o'clock.
I mean, it's early August.
Yeah, it's still bright, but it's not early morning.
It's bedtime for 8-year-olds.
Yeah. Does it make a difference? Like what evening time punchings are more acceptable, is it? The
Yeah,
traveller
I
doesn't
know,
get angry
right?
till after he's had his dinner, like
Oh
he's like
God.
full of energy and just needs to punch it out of him. Like,
She was
Zero says
punched,
Alan Hughes.
there we go. Yeah, Alan
Right.
Hughes. Yeah.
Right.
and a bicycle wheel was put into her genital area.
Yeah, they're making it sound like Conor McGregor was riding the bike.
It was Connor himself.
Yeah, it was an impacted wheel in her vagina. It was like they needed to perform surgery to remove the wheel.
I'm just finding it really fucking hard to believe. Wait, did one of them hold her up and then the other one did, like, because that's the only way that works.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that, they have the wheel on the wall, for Christ's sake. Look, they managed to secure the wheel from her vagina and hung it on the wall as a souvenir. Like, and it's also very Indian, isn't it? The wheel. How do we get off the wheel? Any Samsara in there? Any Samsara rolls? I'm like that you can give me to get off the eternal fucking wheel? Dopey fucking Indians. Jesus Christ.
It was rammed into her genital area. And she told you, Nia told you that they had said, go back to India.
It was a very terrific experience to explain, actually. Like he was on night shift at that moment. He was in a nursing home here. And, Nia just asked me to do a cycling outside, just in front of our house with a few of her friends. So we said, okay, she can do that. So I was supervising them in front of our house. But
hang on a minute. You were supervising them. You weren't supervising them. Holes in the story.
That's a bit.
Yeah. She's reading comments. I think people are saying, why weren't you supervising? That I was supervising the children, but while you turn back for a minute, the curry had just come to the boil. You had to go in and turn the heat down, or I don't know, throw another corpse on the fucking fire that you used to cook the food.
10-month-old younger child as well. So I was holding him. So maybe around 8 p.m., he started crying for his feed. So I told Nia that I will be popping in and feed the baby and come back. And started.
All right. So it's 8 o'clock at night. Baby needs a feed. So she's not just failing on keeping an eye on Nia. So while she's keeping an eye on Nia, the baby is alone in the house. Like, this could be another Madeleine McCann episode. Like, that baby upstairs could have been kidnapped by God knows who, like some fucking another traveller tribe, and that kidnaps Indian babies and puts them on done deal in the free section, and because you can't sell an Indian baby, like there's no market for Indian babies. So she's abandoning the baby inside to go and check on Nia. She feeds the baby boy, then goes out to check on Nia. It's now 8 o'clock, and
suddenly this incident happened, and maybe in 2-3 minutes second, I was preparing the food, and Nia came in with her friends, very scary, upset. She couldn't talk. She was crying a lot, and that was like she was showing up such a upset mind for the first time. So one of her friends, she was also scared. She said like a group of boys came in with 2 girls as well. They hit Nia in private part with the cycle wheel. They pushed the cycle wheel inside, and they punched Nia on the right cheek few times.
Bollocks.
A few times.
Yeah. And not a mark, like.
And you know what? Okay, all right. So I asked Grok, how tall would I have to be hit by the wheel of a mountain bike in my crotch? And it went through all the fucking mathematics and stuff, and it said you'd need to be approximately 5 feet and 2 inches tall.
All right. Leprechauns, teenage leprechauns on bicycles are roaming around the streets of fucking Waterford. Was it this happened? I think.
Yeah.
And that was a scary experience. And then they ran away, but I couldn't see anybody outside. So I was trying to consoling these kids in front of the house. Then the gang came back. So I saw 2 boys and 1 girl at that time. They were maybe in teenage age group, but they saw these kids crying and scary. Then they were staring at me in front of my house. They stayed there maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Then they went back. So I asked the kids to come inside the house.
So hang on, your kid was beaten up. and then you
All
sent her
right.
back outside.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so your kid came in and said, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, somebody ran into me on the bike and punched me 5 or 6 times." It's like, "Oh, come in, you're inconsolable. Get out." So to me, that suggests that, a very minor incident to begin with, if there is an incident, and then so I'll go back outside, you'll be grand. Then she goes back to feed the baby, goes back outside and see there's a couple of kids outside. And generally, if kids have assaulted somebody, they don't come back for seconds. They just scurry off on their bikes because the last thing they want to do is to be caught. So maybe they even thought it was so inconsequential because they've come back around the block now on their bikes again.
I called one of my friends, so she came, he popped in. So I was discussing this. Then this gang came again, looking at our house. So this gang came few times. So I was so upset because husband was in here. So I will be alone with these 2 kids. So I rang Garda at the moment. They said they will pop in a half hour. They came in. But the first question they asked is what age group these gangs are. So I mentioned maybe around 12, 13. Then that was a very cold response from them after that. They said this happened because I was in with her.
Oh, it's a rare event when I clap for the police.
All right.
So she called the police.
Okay.
The police came around to the house, asked her, how old were these kids, 12 or 13? And then the cop said, well, where were you? Oh, I was in the house looking after it. But what do you fucking expect? You left your kid outside and your kid got into a bit of trouble. That's what happens when you leave an 8-year-old unattended at fucking 8:30 at night when you're living next to a halting site. Did they not give you the booklet when you fucking came into the country?
Yeah, thanks for that translation, by the way, because I'm struggling to understand this woman.
Yeah, it's difficult. So the guards come up and they said,
Yeah.
well, you weren't with her at the time. Like, so if you had been with her at the time or had her in the house like a fucking, normal person, she wouldn't have been, in that situation. And what she was expecting is obviously like some sort of fucking major investigation. It's like, well, what, aren't you going to get the special detective unit on it? Like, I want the helicopters out searching for these kids because they've upset poor Nia.
At that time.
During the night, she told Daddy, the bad boy's coming. What to do? I can't sleep. This is a really nightmare for her.
These are young kids, that are standing outside your house, intimidating you. Like, I'd be terrified.
Really?
You just must.
You'd be terrified.
Yeah, she'd be terrified.
4 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, like 3 weeks. What was it? 3 weeks ago? Abortions. What were they saying? It was a magical event, a magical disappearance. Like, funniest thing on the fucking earth. The abortions, and now she's outraged. Would be terrified if 4 teenage boys and 2 teenage girls stopped outside her house and looked at her. I hope she has some sort of security system in her house to make her sleep at night.
You just must be afraid. You mustn't know what to do.
She was so scared after incident to go outside to play. Because
so scared that you sent her back out 10 minutes after you brought her in.
Even the guards advised to, it's safe to be in the back garden, but I can't. I'm not planning, we are not planning to grow our child like that. This is her place as well. She belongs here.
Okay. That's fair enough to say, well, your child shouldn't feel so unsafe that they can't go outside and play. But part of childhood and part of developing as an adult is dealing with conflict. Now, I know there's a large amount of people out there who would like to live in an ideal world where, everybody's enlightened and you'll get through your entire life without any sort of confrontation or even raising your voice. Unfortunately, it's a pipe dream. The only way we can get there is to heavily medicate people, and with a daily dose of brainwashing as well, to make sure that they squash every natural instinct they have. And we're probably 60% of the way there in Ireland as it is. Or you could go down the traditional route of just, telling your kids, look, unfortunately, some people are fucking arseholes. Kids are mean little bastards, as you know, because you are a child yourself, and it's part of life. And the best way to do it is, we're going to send you off to learn how to defend yourself in case something like that happens again. And it will, stand you well in adulthood as well. If you're able to look after yourself, at least you'll have the confidence to go out there. And if something does happen, you'll have some sort of fighting chance. And in the meantime, Hora, as a parent, makes a promise to the child. I promise I won't leave you outside at 8 o'clock in the evening anymore. Now that I know that there's these people roaming around. And if it does happen, I'll at least wait an hour before I send you back out again. Because it couldn't happen. It couldn't happen again. And she'll keep sending her out and out and out until the problem is dealt with. And the way she wants it dealt with is that everybody else needs to be fucking rounded up. We need to have a 1-year campaign where, no Irish child can leave school without knowing how important Indians are to Ireland. And if we start assaulting Indians, they may leave. And if they do leave, we're all dead in a matter of weeks. There'll be nobody left to man the intensive care units. There'll be nobody there to give out booster vaccines, to look down on you in hospital, to bark orders at you. So I remember when I was many years ago, I had to have an operation, and the nighttime nurse was Indian, and she was a cunt. Like, she was just an evil fucking cunt who had no time for anybody. Just barked orders. You really felt like a dog, and she was going around giving people injections at nighttime, and people asking what they were, and like it shouting, it doesn't matter what it is. Essentially just stab people in the stomach with this injection at nighttime, and then go off, and you wouldn't see her until the next night. Like, fucking terrifying, but there was a male Indian nurse who was there as well, and he was very kind. But the thing is, there should be no need for a modern country with the resources that Ireland has to have to import 60% from abroad to run its health service. It's fucking madness. Like,
if all of the Indians and Filipinas, I don't know which you call them, disappeared, just went home, then what would happen is many Irish people around the world will say, wait, there's a place for me to live and there's a job back home. All right, fucking sign me up. I'm on the next flight.
Yeah. And let's not forget the health service did put an embargo on hiring Irish nurses. So we can't forget that little nugget of information. And and if they did go home, and even if they didn't go home, you would think, okay, well, what's the wise thing to do? Let's incentivize it heavily. Let's give them grants to set up home when they get here. Let's look forward. Let's build homes. Let's give them preferential rates, something like that. If it is such a vitally important part of the site, and it is, so you would think a government who is, somewhat competent would plan for these things well in advance. And granted, you may need certain specializations every now and again, or we have to accept the fact that as a nation, we're retarded and we don't have the ability or the capability within our own nation to do these things. And I can't accept that, because for the longest time we have, and there have been foreign doctors, but there's never been a time where we had, 50, 60% of the nursing staff not be from Ireland, or doctors. Like in the last couple of years, that 70% of new entrants into our system are from abroad. It's just fucking madness. It's absolutely madness. It makes no sense whatsoever to me to run a country like this. It's beyond nuts. Right, we have one more video.
All right.
And then I think we'll have pretty much done this to death. And it won't be the last of it. I'm sure we'll hear many a news story in the coming fucking days or weeks anyway.
Actually, this is just our life now.
That's what I think has had me down during the week as well. It's like, okay, it's never stopping.
No, it's just getting worse.
Yeah, I mean, I think because we kind of live in a fucking the information age, you tend to think it's over because you look at a lot of like American media, and over there it's pretty much, it's not over, but at least there's some movement where, okay, well, the height of wokeness, let's call it, has ended. But of course, in Ireland, we're like 5 years behind, so it's only actually getting to its fucking peak now. So we probably another 5 years of this horseshit, or I don't know what will break the camel's back. Well, I do know what will break it, but of course we can't say that out loud. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted with anger.
Yeah, it's understandable. Can you maximize
We
that?
are.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're still with
Cool.
this fucking terrible daytime show.
What the fuck is that thing?
That's our friend, what's her name? Ebun.
Oh no! Please, no! Don't do this, please! Oh fuck me! I hate this cunt.
I know.
She's in every fucking grift going, man.
So they wheeled old Ebun out. I believe her father or her grandfather is a chief, whatever third world hellhole she's come from. I think it's Nigeria.
Right.
And whatever tribe her father's from, or her grandfather, it would have been very likely that his ancestors would have been kind of instrumental in selling slaves from the African continent to the Americas, which is always good to know, that these people who are telling us we're all fucking racists. Problem.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
The most the most privileged Indians, the most privileged Africans, they are all coming here and fucking setting up shop and preaching to us about how we have to live different now.
Yeah. And then, why don't you like me? I don't understand why you don't like me. I'm telling you, you're a piece of shit. You're a subhuman racist who needs to be trained like a fucking dog. To what?
You brought me the wrong drink. How dare you?
Yeah, pure racism. And that's what it is. It's essentially they're training Irish people to be their fucking slaves, It's like, and if you disagree with anything I say, well, then it's racist. You're an absolute fucking racist. And this disgusts me. It's saddening, really, that it's come to this. And I don't know if these people are complicit or if they're just fucking brainwashed. You'd imagine they're not stupid people. Stupid people generally don't tend to get into these positions in so much as that they're fucking ruthless. Well, maybe that's it. They don't care. It's got to be a case. It's got to be just a job, isn't it? Like, read the fucking script, get through it. You're not allowed to have a personal opinion because that's not the format here. It's just, here's your script, read it, ask the questions, follow the prompts, which would be, look horrified, and then ask the follow-up question. So we'll have a listen to Ebun. I don't know if we get through the 3 minutes and 53 seconds, but some people you're supposed to hate, whether it's legal or illegal. There's a very good reason to hate some fucking people.
Seeing a rise in this recently. Do we know what's driving this rise?
It is so upsetting, I have 2 boys, and this is a 6-year.
That's a fucking miracle right there that anybody would mount that to begin with. Like, where did you get those 2 boys from? Look at the fucking state of this thing. Like, it's a man in drag is what that is. Like, how could anybody go near that fucking thing? Like,
Old girl, and we talk about, in 15 years' time, she's going to be on somebody's counseling couch, saying, having mental health issues or all of that.
What?
People don't.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She wasn't fucking gang raped. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
Yeah, the child will forget about it in a week. It's gone. It's done.
Unless everyone in the country reminds her over and over about it again.
Yeah, I know. That's got like abusing her and the family, bringing it up. It's got to be at least 10 fucking times now, hasn't it? And every time it becomes more severe, and they're demanding more as well. We need counselling now. She's going to need counselling at 15 and 15 years' time because some fucking dude on a bike pushed into her and apparently gave her a few slaps, which there's no physical sign of that happening.
No injury.
No. I got punched numerous times when I was a child. Did it affect me? I'm sure it did, but it hasn't kind of hindered me, or where I've had to go to a psychologist to work through the issue of getting a kick in the arse from some random dude because he didn't like the look at me. It was kind of humiliating at the time, But
Mhm.
you get over it, and the only time you remember it is when you're faced with shit like this. So maybe I do need counselling, and I'll send Dr. Ebun the bill for triggering me and bringing up that fucking terribly traumatic memory. So what was her name? Nia
Mhm.
will now need counselling in 15 years because of the
Mm.
horrendous attack.
Look at the long-term impact. That when things like this happen, it's not just today. It's not just a bad name. It's not just a bad. That's gender-based violence we're talking about. So there's so many things
Oh
in here.
God.
Gender-based
Gender-based violence. Boys and girls attacked a girl, and it's gender-based violence. Like
Yeah.
it's just wow. Just pack anything that you can into there. Even that's the grift. Yeah.
And who can tell? Like, have you ever seen an 8-year-old Indian girl? Like, they're hairier than fucking 20-year-old Irish men. It's impossible to know if an 8-year-old Indian child is male or female. They're just too hairy, just too much facial hair to make a call on it. That's a fact.
And look at it. I've lived in Ireland now 23 years. I said that I feel more unsafe today than I felt.
Why? What's going
when
on?
I came 23 years.
Yeah, that's a good fucking question. Can you answer it? Like
Let's
with
see.
fucking words that make sense?
So I was much younger. I was green. I didn't know anybody, but I felt safe because then it was a general curiosity. But now it's an antagonism. I said
it's not an antagonism, and you're right. It was a general curiosity, like what people saying, like, "Well, look at you fucking black fucker. You're completely different looking to me. Like, where have you come from? What land are you from? Oh, that's interesting. When are you going home? 3 weeks? Oh, I like that." Now it's fucking everywhere. It's like, and people have been told, like, we can't even ask somebody where they're from because that's racist and very unwelcoming. So again, what is it like? Someone comes into the country and it's like, "Oh, gee, we're so grateful you're here to save us and help us." And if these are the people that she's constantly interacting with, it's no wonder she feels this fucking entitled. Because these guys are only ever asking her, like, "Oh my God, that's terrible. They're reinforcing our horseshit. Why is this? Explain it to us. What can we do to make this better?"
Look at that fella's fucking body language there. It's like, just leaning in, grabbing his knee. Oh,
yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking terrible, isn't it? What can I do to help out? Oh, I'm so ashamed to be Irish. Thank goodness I'm not. Tell me, this is a straight issue, is it? Because we're allies because of he's also one of the downtrodden class, like and her, of course, because she's female. He's a homosexual. She's black. So there's shared trauma here. Like, there's a fortune in counselling sitting on that fucking couch, right there to begin with.
Was it last year when we had the riots?
Yeah.
When we had the riots, I said, "Oh my God, we're grooming the next generation of racists."
That's what the riots were about. Racism, nothing to do with children being stabbed. For the first time in the history of the Irish state, maybe even the couple of 100 years of colonialism as well. It was a rare event to have children stabbed coming out of a school by a foreigner, and then the people got angry and they ran amok, as they fucking should. But no, that was about racism. Nothing else. Like, so,
I said it. I put it out there because I saw that parents took their children to go and burn the. I said, so you're modeling to the children.
What are you fucking mumbling about?
I don't know. Look at those teeth as well. Like,
I was thinking are those like filed down or something in some weird fucking African ritual or something?
Yeah, some of the tribes did, don't they? They file it into fine points, like piranhas, or maybe she's just a fucking witch or some sort of demon. It's probably more likely. Yeah, I think she's saying that parents. She's kind of confused. Like, parents didn't bring their kids to the fucking riot. It's not like, all right, the story, love, come on, grab the kids there. There's a bit of a fucking riot going on.
No, if anything, the kids brought their parents to the riot.
Yeah, and we could do with a few pair of new runners anyway. We may as well break into fucking TJ Maxx or whatever the fuck it's called and get some new shoes. Yeah, so I think she's confusing that or conflating that with, then protest marches where people bring their children to protest marches. But again, the fact that she's on here spouting this shit without question is offensive to me, and it should be offensive to every fucking person in the country as well.
This is what you do to people who look different.
No, this is what we do to people who stab children.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing in the riot because he looked different. It was the fact that he stabbed children. And then when people learned, oh, it's a fucking Muslim dude who's been in the country for 20 years, still hasn't learned to speak the language. Well, then the people who said, listen, you need to be vetting these people as they come in because, there's a couple of things that we have a few questions around, like one, their fucking ideology, two, their mental health. And we've looked around at other countries and there seems to be a stabbing phenomenon that follows people from certain parts of the world. And lo and behold, it happened in Ireland. And so that compounded the issue,
Know globally that there is an increase in agitation, in racism, and we can see it driven by certain groups, but also
the people basically having their country stolen from under their feet. The people who have an issue with the, very fabric of reality being fucked with on a daily basis. That section of society, you're fucking right. The fact that it's not more people is an absolute fucking mystery to me.
Can see it from online forums, just like Anupa was talking about, that things are being sent around going, taking your home, all this kind of stuff. And it is a divisionary tactic. We can see it with the rise of AI. There have been recent reports saying that they are driving this divisionary racism online without any foundation in facts.
Really? That's quite a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, she said a whole lot that's based on nothing.
Yeah.
Elon Musk made Grok racist for 5 hours and then suddenly it's a grand fucking conspiracy. Yeah.
No, the people are unhappy. Generally, a lot of people have issues with this, and this is the response is that those people need to be silenced, and I think that's essentially what the next year is probably going to look like, for the continuation on how to silence people. And it will start with this age verification system, and then you'll get notifications and be slowly trained as you already are about what you can't say, and then if you engage in hate speech. But it's not like we haven't expected it. We know it's coming.
Yeah.
We know what to do with it. There are certain tools you can use to get around it. But ultimately, I think there's a fair amount of people who will be the hill they're willing to die on. It's like, okay, well, you're not going to tell me what I can and can't say or what I can and can't think, And if it does become impossible to communicate online, that's a blessing in disguise, really. Because if the trajectory carries on, well, then it will have to be taken offline anyway,
where we can't be so easily monitored.
Yeah. And there will always be, oh, well, that person's an infiltrator, that's fine. Like, I would happily fucking deal with that, and that's easily sorted out, But when we're online and, we're talking about these things freely, as you should be able to, but let's not pretend that the conversations aren't being monitored, even if it's not your personal information, if it's anonymized, let's say. And then we have AI and running these programs. It's been for many years, with the whole fucking pre-crime thing. Well, it knows that there is this certain percentage of people who have these particular views and how those views are easily managed, and basically how many of those accounts have strong followings. And it would be very easy to cut that off. It's just a matter of taking those accounts away from the person, or interfere with them, or shadow ban them, or, and they're mild things, because all we need to do is have a look at secret police in the last 100 years and see what they get up to. The Stasi would go to such means, and rather simple things like just to fuck with someone, just to ruin their life, to take them out of the equation. Just a simple letter in the post, pretending to be somebody's lover, you know. So you imagine that if you're a man or a woman at home, you get a letter in the post. It's from an anonymous source saying, "Hi, my name is such and such. I'm having an affair with your husband or wife, and have been for the last 10 years. And you've been under surveillance, so you know they know where your husband goes. They know the night he's been late, and they just put that doubt into a person's mind. That can end a fucking marriage." Right there. And so that's what people are going to be up against if you come to their attention. And I think the time has come now where, you know, the writing's pretty much on the fucking wall.
It is.
That, you know, the days of internet conversations are pretty much done. And it's, you know, it's time for people to have private meetings and not, you know, large festivals where people are fucking, you know, giving all sorts of talks and what have you. But we have a history. We know how it goes. But I just think people have this feeling, well, if the internet goes, we're fucked. It's over. It's end game. If we don't have the ability to communicate with each other, we're fucked. We're not.
Yeah. Well, you and I are fucked because this is our job. But generally, no, we're not.
Yeah. No, in that sense, yeah, we will find another way, like, you know. But no, we won't. Yeah, we'll do bouncy ball videos. But again, what we would do, we'd come up with a new language, like we've always done. Like, okay, you can't say this. Well, then you just replace, you know, certain words with other words, and there's always a way for people. There's always a way around this shit. But we can't be naive and say, okay, well, it's not going to get muddy. Let's put it that way.
So what do we do about this?
My God, that hair!
I know, right?
What is that? Is that like dried out dog shit that she, you know, used to kind of make her hair into a stabbing implement? Like, what is that?
I think it's some sort of mold, is it, or ectoplasm or something? Like it's like a fucking, it's just slowly dying, rotting from the hair down. I don't know what it is. Like,
like that's not African, right? But talk about racism, right? You know, she's sitting with two Irish people, and she has shit hair, like literal shit hair, and they're not like, wait, what? When's the last time you had a shower? But no, they're just fucking white racists, so they think, oh, this is a cultural thing, this is an African thing, not a fucking bag lady.
Yeah, it's a cobweb or something like that. She hasn't dusted herself off in fucking months. Yeah, I'd be tempted to put a lighter to her or something like that, you know, just to see if it is fluff, if it goes up straight away or not. Like, but you think they'd mention it, wouldn't they? Like, what's going on with your fucking hair there? What's with the nappy hair, bitch?
And I was looking at it. Our government still haven't said anything. The government hasn't said anything.
About what? About a child being hit by a fucking bike?
And like, wait, what does she mean by the government? You know, does she mean like the elected representatives who formed a government in the Dáil? Or no, wait, have they even? And now they're on holiday? Those people?
She wants the Dáil recalled to discuss this fucking, you know, did you hear a person of colour has been hit with a wheel?
Oh, the fucking...
They're making, like, girls her age are making the fucking tires into slippers back home. Like, you know, they're fucking using old truck tires and cutting them down and making sandals back in India. She should thank her lucky stars that she gets to come to a country where you can actually get hit in the vagina with a relatively high standard of wheel to begin with. Like, fucking hell.
So it has to come from top down. I'm the special rapporteur on anti-racism in Ireland. And Ireland has a mandate from the EU. We signed up for that, to be an anti-racist nation.
Well, then we were no, we didn't. I wasn't consulted.
Neither was I.
I don't think anybody agreed for this. Ireland is becoming an anti-racist nation. Not a fucking chance. And especially not with you running the fucking show. You know, how about what's your view on black people being racist, Ebon? Is that even a possibility? Of course not. And we all know the anti-racist horseshit. It's a never-ending fucking story because it's unconscious, the bias, and it can never be gotten rid of. The only way to get rid of it entirely is, unfortunately, to get rid of the racists, who all happen to be white, as it just so happens, you know.
And so if a thing like this happens and our government hasn't said anything, what we are saying to the people that it's okay.
But
No, we're saying it's just not that fucking important. Like, we don't need to bring the country to a standstill because somebody gets hit with a fucking bike, you know.
there is this plan, the National Action Plan Against Racism, was developed in 2024. What's happening with that plan?
So I'm the special rapporteur to make sure that, you know, so one of the things that is happening...
What are we doing? What are you doing? What's the plan? What's the plan hoping to...
Nothing by the looks of things. She's scrambling. I don't fucking know. They just gave me 150 grand a year to do shit. I'm not taking it seriously at all. Like, I'm on the fucking grift here. Like, I can't believe my luck.
To achieve.
The plan is hoping that the government itself, so what it does is, you know...
Oh my God! You can't get anything more clearer than this.
Yeah. It's back on the government. The plan is for the government to do something.
The government that gives me money
to do something about a problem.
To hope. That's her plan with the money, is to hope. How much does it cost to hope?
Oh, that's a couple of billion. Like, if to bring in hope, the hope mines in Nigeria are almost depleted. You need heavy investment to get the last of that hope out of the ground over there. Like, fucking hell.
Previously, organizations and groups were the ones trying to agitate for anti-racism. But now this means that the government itself have been given certain things that they have to do, and they've signed up for it. So each government department has, like, for example, the Gardaí. She just mentioned that the guards, they did not take a report. And this is not the first time. The other young girl who was punched on the bus, she called me later that night to say, she gave a statement, but when she called the next day, she had no pulse statement. So we look at all of that. So part of it is for the government actually to take responsibility for.
What did she just say? I couldn't follow.
I think something about a statement, and then I don't know if it was posted the next day. Let's go back.
You know what? If this mother, right, of the child that was, that we just saw speaking, and even Joseph had perfect command of the English language and an accent that was easily understood, and they weren't just a fucking mumble mouth fuckers, then we would actually be able to hear what they're saying, and we would immediately think, "Oh, that's shite."
Yeah. It's incomprehensible nonsense. Well, let's see if we can make out what she's actually trying to say.
Statement. So we look at all of that. So part of it is for the government actually to take responsibility for anti-racism in Ireland. And that's really good. It's so robust. The demand there is so robust.
Oh, hang on, we need to go back further, I think. Yeah, she still hasn't answered the question of what she's actually doing, is she? Nothing is, I think, what we've gathered. We must find out how much this woman gets as well to do nothing.
Happens, and our government hasn't said anything. What we are saying to the people that it's okay.
But there is this plan, the National Action Plan Against Racism, was developed in 2024. What's happening with that plan?
So I'm the special rapporteur to make sure that, so one of the things that is happening...
What are we doing? What are you doing? What's the plan? What's the plan hoping to achieve?
The plan is hoping that the government itself, so what it does is, previously, organizations and groups were the ones, trying to agitate for anti-racism. But now this means that the government itself have been given certain things that...
Yeah, so she's just told us she's an agitator, essentially. Her job is done. She's agitated for anti-racism to take the stage. And now she's just happy to sit back and pick the fucking paycheck up.
They have to do, and they've signed up for it. So each government department has, like, for example, the Gardaí. She just mentioned that the guards, they did not take a report. And this is not the first time. The other young girl who was punched on the bus, she called me later that night to say, she gave a statement, but when she called the next day, she had no pulse statement.
So no post of the statement. Does she mean no report of the statement or something like that?
I guess. I think she just her understanding of anything really is just that slim that she's struggling to, describe a
because
basic thing.
I think for her and her fellow travelers, like, it's the most important thing, it's the most egregious thing that can happen in the country anywhere, is that a person of color gets attacked. So when they report it to the Gardaí, that the Gardaí are supposed to, put their best men on the case, take the statement, work late overtime to, put it onto the pulse system, because they've nothing else to fucking do anyway, I believe like probably 60% of their time is spent in the office doing fucking donkey paperwork. And then, put it onto the system so it's ready to go immediately. So then when this girl, whoever she is, rings back the next morning for an update, like, where would you get it? Like, you're assaulted the night before and then you're ringing the next morning to find out, well, how's the case going? It's like, hang on a minute, you were only fucking attacked yesterday. And, it's not even typed up properly yet. Like, he finished at 6, he's back in on Wednesday from 10 to fucking 7. And, then we'll put it onto the system and forgetting about it because, we're not going to catch the fucking dude. And there's so much other shit going on that, it's done. Is there CCTV footage? No. Okay, end of case.
Yeah.
But she contacts this woman and now it's an outrage because the guards don't have it on pulse first thing the next morning, or she didn't get it, or her statement posted out to her, or a card and some chocolates or something to say, on behalf of the people of Ireland, we're terribly embarrassed and ashamed to be Irish, and sorry, here's a check for €5,000.
And
please,
a free house.
Yeah, please don't tell your embassy about us. We wouldn't like to be embarrassed on the international stage.
So we look at all of that. So part of it is for the government actually to take responsibility for anti-racism in Ireland. And that's really good. It's so robust. The demand there is so robust, but we're not seeing those actions.
And we also need to take responsibility ourselves, but we're so afraid. If you saw something on a bus, would you feel comfortable going up
Getting involved
and stopping anything? Dr. Eben Joseph, thank you so much for joining us.
Can I just say one quick thing? I just want to say 3 quick things. Please, one of the key things we need to see is there has to be consequences. If we don't see consequences, it's going to continue. We have to have education. I say it all the time, and I'm going to get attacked for it, for saying education, but we have to educate the system to see all of those changes. Our government has to come out and speak up. If they don't speak up, then we're permitting it to continue.
Thank you.
Yeah, or how about this? Fuck off. Get out. You serve no purpose here. Fuck off. Yeah. You and again, the face. Look at the fucking head on this thing. Like, it's
that's a brilliant freeze frame.
Yeah, it's begging to be punched. It's like, get the fuck out of here now. Yeah, is that Phil Collins on the shirt there? Yeah, I know. I'm sick of this shit. Like, it's not even funny anymore.
No,
and I don't know who buys it. I find it very difficult to believe that anybody watching this is in agreement with her, but there must be, sadly.
Yeah. There are people out there that you hear them say something, and you're like, "Are you for fucking real? Like, do you not kind of think for yourself? Like, this is just straight off of the fucking university fucking pipeline. There's no further thought or analysis into this fucking critical race fucking bullshit theory that you're just parroting to me right now. These people do exist, but you know what? I doubt that. I doubt that there's that many really. Have you heard? What's his name? Colbert was cancelled.
Yeah, I heard something.
He's one of those. He's one of those guys who do the kind of talk show thing of telling jokes about a politician and everyone laughs, and that's the show. He was booted, and people started asking, "Wait, hold on, why? I thought this guy was huge." Well, it turns out that nobody's actually watching that shit. They're, these TV companies are, giving us just lies in terms of their ratings, how many people are watching their channels and which shows they're watching. And that's reflected in their social media accounts. You know, they put out fucking reels, for instance. It's easy to get fucking 1 million views on a reel, isn't it? Well, you know, how about fucking 5,000 views? They during COVID when the coof, they weren't allowed to go and do their shows. So what they did was these guys, right, all of them, because there's fucking a dozen of them for some fucking reason, they decided to get together and they're going to do a podcast together. And that didn't last, man. That tanked quickly. Nobody's paying attention to these people. They're just pretending that they're, you know, being looked at. Like how many people viewed that? 3 years, 168K. Is that it? The vaccine. That's that's embarrassing, man. And you know what? Most people who fucking watched that video watched it as like a morbid curiosity, or look at this fucking propaganda.
Yeah, it was psychotic, like, and you should really go to prison for this kind of shit. I think we should watch it, like, because it's like I when I saw this first, I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, I thought it was a fever dream or something. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
I know, right? I thought it was satire.
Yeah, but no. Like,
vaccine.
All right, that's enough. Turn that off. Not only because it's horrific, but also we might get flagged for copyright.
But this is the most demonic shit. This is like, you know, somebody's, you know, hit you with a massive dose of LSD.
Yeah.
And you're watching Beetlejuice at the same time or something like that, and some fucking like just you know, almost beyond words. Like,
Jesus.
This was used to encourage people to get the vaccine. Incredible. I don't care how frightened you are, or like, this is a crime.
You know what it looks like to me? It's very well, hello, fellow children. You know, it's kind of, well, I forget the exact meme, but you know, it's just like boomer pretending to, you know, be into what the kids are into, kind of thing. And it's only fucking sad act fucking other boomers and some Gen X who are in that audience. Fucking, you know, they may as well be a fucking Nazi rally at the rise of Hitler, you know, cheering him on, fucking cheering on this fucking mind mush.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good riddance to fucking Colbert. He should have been taken out of the scene maybe 10 years ago. He probably should have retired after the Jon Stewart show. He was pretty decent on that, you know. It wasn't as overt, like, you know. Okay. Where we go to next? This is Mise, Éire festival. I think we have to talk about it.
Yeah. There's a few things to talk about around that festival. Does anyone need to have it explained to them, the bare bones of what is going on?
I don't know. Unless you're not from Ireland.
Yeah, we don't have anyone in the chat, at least from not Ireland. Yeah, well, what is that? What happened there? Was this some kind of 4D chess move by Stephen Kerr and some others, maybe, of like, let's goad the racist leftists into banning or censoring a Irish festival?
I don't think so. I don't think you'd need to, you know. And if it was fair play, but I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know the festival was happening. Yeah, it's still going ahead in Castlebar. Yeah, it's been moved. So I didn't know anything about it until it was mentioned that it was cancelled. So, you know, from a strategy point of view, it's, you know, it's the worst thing you can do is to cancel something, because all it does, the Streisand effect kicks in, and it, you know, it explodes to such an extent now where they've had to hire an extra marquee, because there's, you know, far more people now interested in it than there was before. Like, so if it was a 4D chess move, like, well done. But I don't think you need much to fucking agitate these people. And I think it was the Roscommon and Sligo anti-fascist branch who brought this state of affairs about. And I pretty much think they're the same people that you tend to see at all these counter protests. So it's the troon with the blonde hair who's there 90% of the time. It's the other woman who dresses like some character from Dungeons and Dragons, or she's wearing some sort of witch's hat, or I don't fucking know. The same kind of faces that are there day in, day out. And that's the reason DETRA for existing, is to stop the dreaded Nazis. And they're the frontline defense, at least in their own minds, that if they allow this to happen, well, then the nightmare will become true. They will indeed be living in a fascist state, where their lifestyle is under threat, and they will have to essentially go underground. And that might be the actual case. Like, so it might be the case, because I was thinking about it initially, I'm like, okay, well, this is horseshit. Like, you know, why would you even try and bother to stop this from happening? It makes no sense. It's a small enough festival.
Yeah. And
again, strategically, it's stupid, because, you know, it's never a good look to be on the side of censorship. It's just not. It's not a good look. You can't argue for it, and we understand the ideology behind it with Mercuse and, you know, repressive tolerance, and the people involved would be that clued up, or just it's kind of seeped into their DNA at this stage, and it is part of the left. I don't think too many people would be kind of hyper aware of what they're actually doing. It's the natural thing to do, you know. And this all came from the artistic community. No, artistic, not autistic, although the two could be firmly linked together. But it's this was at the behest of the artistic community in Ireland. So there were some odd 600 names that were put to this petition to stop this festival from going ahead. And the festival was essentially around Irish culture, so a celebration of Irish music, poetry, storytelling, an examination of the old Brehon laws in Ireland. And they had particular guests lined up to speak on it. I think Kevin Flanagan, Thomas Sheridan, John Waters, and God knows who else, and a couple of bands. But the left, or these leftists, or anti-fascists, whatever the fuck you want to call them, these people decided that this shouldn't go ahead, it couldn't go ahead, and it's nothing more than a fash fest, as they would classify it. And so they produced various literature and flyers and posters, which I thought were fucking hilarious. Like, people seem terribly offended by them. For me, it's like, that's mild. Like, that's what every fucking envelope looks like in my house when I doodle. I'm just drawing crazy, random, mad shit all the time. So for me, it was very tame. But some people, you know, couldn't, like, what kind of mind would come up with this kind of stuff? And it was pretty tame. It was just Thomas Sheridan in a dress or something, wasn't it? And let's see if we could find we'll find the photos. I think it's on Kev's video, isn't it?
Yeah, it is near the end.
Yeah. So we'll have a look at that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the main point is they cancelled. They were successful. So they managed to cancel the whole fucking festival. Like, so, and it's not an easy thing to put a festival together. You know, you put the time in to organize it. You've got an insurance. You know, it's a lot of time and energy and money and logistics that goes into it, and then to cancel it, and then everybody has to reschedule and make other plans, and, you know, and even beyond that, just to be told you live in a country where you don't have freedom of assembly. Like, there's something inherently fucking wrong with that, and especially when the people who are bringing about this state of events are the ones who are on the mountain preaching about how important these things are, like freedom of expression, and they're calling these people Nazis, and in effect they're acting. Even it's a smear to say they're acting like Nazis. It's beyond Nazism. They're just the worst type of fucking people. Like, because if they will censor you from saying that, they'll censor you from everything. And it's not too far of a step for them to go, okay, well, these people are so dangerous. If you're not allowed to think or talk, well, then you must be a very, very dangerous person. And if these people were ever to be in a position where to wield real fucking power, it won't just be enough. Like, the most they can do now is cancel them. Beyond that, it's physical violence and assassinations. But if they were to get into any sort of power within government, without a doubt, those people would be rounded up and they would all be dragged in under hate speech laws, and all events like this going forward would be banned. So some 600 people signed this petition. Such luminaries as Christy Moore, recovering alcoholic, has to be said. So that's all you need to really know, really. But Christy Moore, bit of a totalitarian. After he went off the drink, refused that drink could be sold at any of his concerts. So it's not just good enough for him to stay off the drink.
Whoa.
Yeah, but the whole audience couldn't have a fucking drink. Like, so that's how weak he is around the alcohol. He can't even have it in the same fucking room as him or have other people enjoy it because it's such a temptation for him.
Whoa.
But he happily put his name to the document. Kneecap, surprised at that one. I would have thought they'd have a bit more sense, given that they were pretty much in hysterics, saying how their freedom of speech was under attack in the UK for flying a Hamas flag, and
which it was, yeah,
and saying that kill the IDF or something like that. I don't know, it was them or someone else. But then they signed it collectively, including their management. The DC Fontaines, a famous band from Dublin. So last time I listened to them, signed it, and some other 600 people. I don't know who else was on there, but a kind of who's
Francis Black and all that.
Yeah, senator. So the usual fucking gobshites have, declared their hand, and Stephen Ray as well, like, who I had some respect for as an actor, but he could fuck off now as well. And you might make the excuse, well, they didn't really know what they were signing. But that's even worse. If you don't know what you're signing, you're a retard, and you should have no respect whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they cancelled. They managed to get the organisers, or the people who were what was the name of the Mayflower? Yeah, the Mayflower Community Centre in Drumshanbo. Pick a better name to fucking host the event. Like, it can only go wrong. Like, if you're hosting in a town called Shambo, like, it's so close to shambles and sham and fucking sambo.
It just reminded me of that episode of South Park when Cartman would be playing Rochambeau with the other kids to settle the dispute. They take turns kicking each other in the balls until one of them, goes down to the ground.
All right.
That's how you win.
Yeah, so the event doesn't go ahead. Let's have a look. We'll have a look at the list. I'll put the list a link to the list in the YouTube description as well, just so people can have it. I'm drawing up lists of people to sink in the Atlantic. Right, let's have a look. Okay. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
We see that okay?
Yeah.
So there open letter from artists and musicians. WRT planned the Mise Éire Festival at the Mayflower, Drumshanbo. Leitrim and Roscommon against fascism. Larf. You couldn't make it up. Began circulating the short open letter presented below. Contacts on Friday, 1st of August, asking that those concerned with the Mayflower situation consider signing it. The initiative has snowballed, and the letter has since been signed by a plethora of local and national musicians, artists, and arts workers. Charlie McGettigan, Vincent Woods, Christy Moore, Andy Irvine, Francis Black, John McCartan, Eleanor Shanley, Brian Kennedy, little faggot, Chris O'Dowd, Moya Brennan, Eamon O'Horrigan, Paula Meehan, Jackie McKenna, Brian Lydon, Paul Laverty, I never know who these people are. Steve Wall. Is that guy, Steve O'Wall, is it? I think so. We'll have a look at him now in a minute. I'm going to copy that name. Steve Wall. I'm sure you remember him. He was on the Late Show. He's an Irish rapper. And he was singing that song, the anti-racism rap that he did. And then, like a week later, people found out, well, you know, he was in a Mountjoy prison. He stabbed some guy to death. So, not the best ally there. Edwila Guckin, Catherine Lynch, Stephen Ray, there we go. Margaret Malloy, The Fontaines, DC, Kneecap, Mike Scott of the Waterboys.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Is everything in my life just going to be slowly taken away and destroyed?
Yeah. Yeah, there has to be an agreement with artists. If you're, musical artist, anything you have to say, you have to sing it. You can't write anything down, or you support any fucking group whatsoever other than through the medium of song. The Mary Wallopers, who I often hear mentioned, but I've never been arsed to listen to.
No, neither have I.
Are just some of the high-profile figures on the list of over 500 signatures. I'd be upset now if I wasn't on that list and I was an artist. I'd be writing in saying, why wasn't my fucking name included? All right, so there's a long list of Panty Bliss is on there as well. There's a shock.
Artist, really?
Yeah, Kat Bonner.
Panty Bliss destroys the beautiful art form of drag. How dare he?
Kate Brenning, Moya Brennan, Clannad, Bugs, Ballin and Moore ukulele group of singers. Okay, yeah. Big hitters. The Clumsy Giantess. Don't know who any of these people are. I think Canoon is in there as well. Remember that retard who's going around threatening Irish people and telling foreigners to strap up. Sean Fitzgerald. Yeah. Anyway, people get the idea. So I'll leave a link to that if people want to download it and hold it as a record of shame. But thankfully, it is going ahead. So where did someone say it was again? Mayo, was it? Or some private location in Mayo. So they've had to book another marquee. And the festival will go ahead and it'll be on private ground, so they don't have to deal with a bunch of retards showing up and trying to stop the event from going ahead. But the question is, what are we going to do with these fucking people? If they're so intent on cancelling speech, and they're all funded, so they're all artists. And we were working out the other day, something like 400 million euros or something like that is spent on the arts in Ireland. Very recently, the artist dole came into effect in Ireland as well. So what was it? There's 2,000 artists who get the artist dole. So that's something like 356 euros a week. To be an artist. And I haven't looked into it in great detail, but I doubt it's just here's 356 quid, go away and be an artist. So knowing how government schemes generally work in that instance is that if they're giving them 350 odd euro a week, they're going to have to be attached to some sort of organization to make sure that they're doing the artwork. So it's not just a case of, okay, you're an artist, here's 356 euros a week for the rest of your life. Go and be an artist, and we won't check in to see, what kind of art. Oh, you've just been painting the same black fucking picture week on week for the last 4 years. Great, that'll do. No, I'd imagine it's okay. Well, you're now attached to this NGO. You will be responsible for working with the artist team that's there. And I've worked with some of these types. in the past, and that's generally what they do. They have an arts program, and then that arts program is a vehicle for a particular ideology or a particular message. And then the artists come up with workshops, and then with those workshops, they travel out into the community and will go to schools and colleges and businesses, and they'll give those presentations and those artists workshops to the victims of whatever organization they're going to. So you can pretty much take it that there's now a small battalion of 2,000 artists in Ireland who have been seconded to various organizations to carry out their
propaganda.
Exactly. And, artists are particularly good at that. And that's what I noticed in the artwork. Like it's good. Like, so people were dismissing it as like, a kind of twisted mind will come up with that. Like it's good. It's rare to see, something that raises a smile from the left, because they've been particularly terrible at it for the last couple of years, which is shocking because, it's just one of those things that people with an artistic bent tend to swing to the left on a lot of issues, So what do we do with these people? Do we go on the attack? Because a lot of people are rightly outraged, and especially the people who have been tried to be cancelled, and you should be as well. Like it should be fucking outrageous. But what do you do with them? My initial thought was just ignore them. Like, so it's probably not worth feeding them, and they'll go away, but they never tend to go away. You can't invite them to talk because they won't speak. They couldn't bring themselves generally to talk with a Nazi. Why would you talk to a Nazi? So I don't know what the fuck to do with these people. So probably go back to ignore them. Might be the easiest thing to do, but they're not very easily ignored because I've seen their behaviour at a lot of protests as well, and they're getting in people's face. They're engaging in mid to low level violence, trying to entice people to strike them and punch them. So I'm not sure, but it's backfired on them horribly, because now the event will go ahead. It's got much more notice than it ever would have. It's become somewhat of an international story.
Yeah,
it's gaining legs, and it's good. Like, and I think the reason they want to attack it as well, because we only spoke about it, I think it was last week, that Irish culture has been the preserve of the left for the longest fucking time. Like, and it's almost like they were disgusted that the right had somehow managed to take ownership of the tricolour, as if it belonged to a particular class and ideology in Ireland. And now it's the culture is being taken back as well, which I think it should be, considering no one else seems to give a flying fuck about it. Like, it's everyone else has a hard on for everything that isn't Irish. It's like, okay, well, let's celebrate Africa, India, Palestinian, Israeli culture, Ugandan culture. And, the question on the left is, well, what even is Irish culture? What even is it to be Irish? So if you don't know and you can't understand it, well, then it's probably best to cede the ground to people who actually value it and cherish it. And, it's difficult because on the right, there's no other way to call it. Like, on the right, there's a large section of working class and an underclass community who haven't fared well from the education system, and the middle class as well. It has to be said, in terms of Irish culture, where we don't speak the language fluently. We don't have a deep appreciation for Irish culture in many respects, and that's pretty much across the board in Ireland, because there hasn't been any real concerted effort, either by those in power or the general population, to really engage with it, because it's hard to engage with something that isn't fucking there, like, and that has to be accepted, that it's really not there, and the only way to bring it about is through festivals like this. So people who do have an interest will go, and they need to be continuous, and then people will need to bring their children, and from there it will grow, but there is that culture there, but a lot of it, people in it, at least from what I see, it tends to be they're all aligned on the left for some particular fucking reason, and I don't know why that is. Beyond the fact that it's the education system, there are parts of the country where there's still like Gaeltacht, but it's it's nothing to write home about. But then there's the public sector where it is a requirement in a lot of these positions to be able to speak Irish. So if you're to be a primary school teacher, there is a requirement. You must be able to speak Irish at a conversational level. And then we know when people become teachers, it's not like you can just go to any private institution or take a course online to become a teacher. You have to go through the state requirement to become a teacher, and that's 4 or 5 years of your life at still an impressionable age. And you're going through a system that is not just teaching you how to be a teacher, it's teaching you how to be a particular type of teacher and what kind of ideology you are bringing into the classroom. And it is, if anyone says there isn't an ideology that goes into the classroom, they're lying through their fucking teeth. There is on a couple of levels. So there's still a Catholic ethos, which, wanes by the day. And then there's a state ethos as well. And that's just a fact. And so obviously to get on in that system, you have to adopt that. And most teachers I've met, just from having my own children in school, you can tell pretty quickly that they're a particular type of person, and it would be very rare to meet a conservative teacher below the age of 40. Majority of them would be, fairly progressive, of a similar ideology, fully on board with everything the school is doing. Whether they believe it in their heart or soul, I don't know, but they're willing to carry out whatever the curriculum dictates. And so that seems to be the largest sector of people who use the Irish language, because outside of that, there's no real incentive for anybody to use it. There's, I leave the house every day. I don't hear anybody speaking Irish anywhere. If you do speak it, you get odd looks. So it's something that's going to have to be kind of cultivated and incentivized. And I think still, I know even myself, there's a lot of shame around it still. You can't speak it, and that somehow, and I've seen it online as well, where people are weaponizing it. Somebody who can speak Irish, again, normally someone from the left says it to somebody on the right, and then the person on the right can't converse in Irish, and then it's like, okay, well, Jesus Christ, like I can't speak Irish, so there I mustn't be Irish, and then they'll wheel forward some fucking black person who can speak Irish, and it's like, oh well, now look, this black person speaks Irish, so therefore they're more Irish than you because you don't have the language. But it's horseshit, because, like we said before, it's part of being Irish, being able to speak it, but it's much more than that. And languages can be learned. If I speak English, it doesn't make me English. If a African speaks English, it doesn't make him English. Or a Chinese man speaks English, it doesn't make them English. It just means they have an ability to speak a particular language. And Irish people are at a disadvantage because there's no reason for us to speak Irish. There's no incentive. And we're not very good at languages because we don't have to be. And then we get a lot of people from the African continent coming over. They're already bilingual to start with. Most people have their original native language plus English or French. Then a lot of them come from areas where, anywhere from 20 to 40 languages are spoken within the immediate area. So there's a natural ability there to speak multiple languages, and they can't pick it up. And all you need to do is stick your kid into a Gael school, and they'll learn Irish. So that has been weaponized and used against Irish people. And again, this is the kind of venue where it will enable people to re-engage with their culture. And that's what I think that's what was missing from the independence movement here is that we took nothing from the old culture with us. Like, we got our independence and did nothing really other than, okay, well, let's try and have some sort of revival around the language that failed miserably on its arse. We did nothing with the education system, and we just copied pretty much the English system. We did nothing with the system of governance, with law, anything like that, to try and recover anything from our kind of Gaelic past. And that's what this movement now has the potential to do, especially with people like Kev coming along, educating people about the Brehon laws again. And I think now is the time to do it. It's not going to be the first time that Kev's tried to teach people around the Brehon laws, but it was very niche and new back then. And a lot of Irish people, I think, still might even be aware that there was such a thing as Brehon laws, and that in many regards they're superior to common law, you know. And so now seems to be the time where something like that can take hold. And I think that's part of the fear beyond the immediate smaller circles of these leftist groups. But that's the governmental fear. What they don't want is people getting together to form an ulterior nation, let's call it that, a different vision. Because it may be
culture.
Yeah, exactly. And it may be too much of a stretch, at least for my imagination, or maybe I just don't want to face the fucking heartbreak in case it fails, that somehow this will be a giant national movement. And it may be better to focus on a smaller movement. But even that's kind of stupid thinking, and probably thinking too small. Because if it represents a threat at a small level, and it must be crushed, and it is trying to be crushed, because anything to do with independence, in whatever regard you want in the Western world, is being crushed, because it can't be had. It's regressive, and everything for the last, since the beginning of fucking history, has been pushing towards one centralized government, a one world government. It's a one planet system, and that if we are to go forward into the future, into the stars, well, we'll be going forward as the united Earth into the deep blue fucking space, and anything that kind of counteracts that is to be looked down upon. And we've had our own politicians, talking about we want nothing to do with a backward looking perspective on independence. Their view of independence is, it's maddening, because it's it's not independence at all, but it's a collective independence. You know how they talk, like they confuse people with fucking nonsense all the time, and that's where they see the world going. It's a globalist society, and we've known this for the longest fucking time. But it may well be the case that it's never going to be okay. Well, this is how the nation will be in the future, because it's no small task to change the culture, where we have to change an entire government, we have to fix an entire civil service, we have to get rid root and branch of a competing ideology, and all these people. And that's just within the country. Then to think outside of that, okay, well, then what do we do with the European Union, and what do we do with the Americans and the Chinese? And you end up just going, okay, well, there's nothing that can be done, so let's not do anything at all. But it may just be a case of, okay, well, there's a core of a couple of thousand people who are willing to do something about it now, and maybe just focus on doing something for ourselves, instead of
starting small.
Yeah, well, even that, and just instead of trying to save the fucking country.
Yeah.
Well, fuck the country. Like, what do we owe the country? Like, when has the country ever been good to us in that sense? So it may be a case of, okay, well, let's try to fucking save each other and help each other. I don't know. I'm just talking shit,
You have to start somewhere, and you're absolutely right that this is the way to do it. Start with the first thing that's in front of you, and then just proceed from there. Like, the thing is that you will, if you go to Mise, Éire, will be amongst people just like you. You will be on a level, and you will be more capable of making friends in that environment, because these days, and especially when one gets beyond early 20s, it gets harder and harder and harder to make friends. But in this kind of environment, because I've been to similar events like this around the country, it's so much easier because there's so many things that aren't in the way. You already kind of are on a level with each other, and more things will spring up out of this. Another festival next year or something throughout the year, or maybe you form a little cell. Oh, you're from Galway or Cork. Oh, I'm from there too. Yeah, let's keep in touch. Let's meet up and do something on a regular basis. These are very actionable things that improve your life, and it does start to build that solid base that our movement has been missing forever.
Okay, so yeah. So here's some of the artwork. So Mise Éire Festival, under the subterfuge and pretext of promoting the Irish language, music, culture, and traditions. Nazis, of course. Join us for a day of racist hate mongering, insidious right wing poison with a rat underneath it. Okay, that's not dehumanizing at all, is it? And vicious fascist bigotry. They're selling this for me, I guess it is. Like I'd want to go. Help us to store up racial tension and hatred in Drumshanbo and the wider Leitrim area by spewing our divisive, hateful, poisonous rhetoric to ramp up the fear and ignorance, thereby increasing division, confusion, and alienation. Help us to make all immigrants
nice touch.
Yeah. Terrified of their communities, scared and in fear of their lives. Demonization of immigrants by hate-filled, dangerous Nazis at the Mayflower Community Centre, Drumshanbo, County Leitrim on Saturday, 23rd of August. Come and help us sully the rich tradition and proud heritage of the Mayflower. There we go. If they're black, send them back. If they're brown, get out of town.
Who says shit like that?
So yeah, petrol, Big Nose. Is this supposed to be one of the speakers or something? Is it?
I think it's just a general kind of stereotype of what we're supposed to look like.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free Tommy Robinson. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of us don't really like Tommy Robinson. We think he's, frequently when he says something about Ireland, we tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That oh, buddy.
Yeah.
That is good. I mean that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
They should print that shit off, and like fucking I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like
one, and just put it up there, man.
Yeah, I'd buy the comic. Like I would. I'd have a read, or at least I'd pick it off the shelf and flick through it, and see what's in there. So yeah, make Éire great again. Okay. Making note that it's underclass retards who are part of this movement because they can't spell properly.
Right.
I don't know who this is supposed to be. Does anyone know who this is supposed to be?
What's the badge say?
Win. I don't know.
No idea.
I think we know who this is.
Oh, jeez.
John's looking well. What's with the pig noses? Is that a...
Yeah. I think pigs. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Yeah, they're all pigs. Great.
All right. There's a dog taking a shit. Is that supposed to be a reference to maybe Philip Dwyer kicking a dog?
Wait, hold on. Let me change where we are. So yeah. Oh yeah, dog taking a shit.
Yeah, lots of shit in this picture as well. Like there's a shit there, there's a shit there. Puddle of piss over here. That's a wanker. Very good.
Okay, right, yeah. That's clever. Yeah.
And this is a good old Thomas, our own Tommy,
Mm.
Tommy Sheridan, with the Y fronts, and I might say carrying quite the hefty sack.
Yeah.
It has to be said. Somebody's been fantasizing hard, like a lot of work gone into that sack area there. Like,
And the jester's hat, that's, I mean, he'd like that, he'd like, yeah, that's
yeah,
good. That I like that. And he would be one to, just flip people off because that's his attitude. That's how
yeah.
he is. Yeah. And like, is Stephen Kerr a dandy?
I don't know much about him. But I watched a couple of videos, but he never strikes me as a.
I met him and we shook hands and had a little wee bit of a chat, and he's a grounded guy, kind of, professional,
Huh.
I'd say that about him.
Yeah, but again, like they like, what's the fucking point? Like, you think by moving it away from the Mayflower, that okay, well, that's the end of it now. You've beat the Nazis. Well done. No, you haven't.
No,
You've just emboldened people. You've given them more energy, and
you've made people adapt.
yeah, and you've given them more money as well.
Yeah.
An
How
extra,
about that?
yeah, an extra 200 tickets at least at 50 quid a pop. Well done, fair play. I'd be fucking
Yeah.
delighted.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'd almost pay you to come and protest at the next one. But we said,
Dars K asks who drew it though, and it is a valid question. There's a lot of work gone into both of these posters. Like, they're impressive on an artistic level, but like this much of energy, that's feels like a waste of time.
yeah. But again, when you're fighting Nazis, it's people would happily do it. They've probably spent hours upon hours, many drafts going over this. But yeah, it's a lot of fucking work. Like,
Yeah.
to put into it. So, but like I said, you're fighting Nazis, so it's well worth the effort. Right, I need to get a drink. My mouth's gone dry.
Yeah, I need to go to the Jacks.
All right, line something up for maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. Let me take care of that. You do your thing. I don't need to go.
Cheers.
Doing much. Okay, I'll just look at my my YouTube history. Okay, I don't know how long this video is actually. Is it 6 minutes? Okay, all right. So if you haven't seen this before, it should be seen. I'd like to spread the good news about Kevin Flanagan, who has battled a while now with a brain tumor. And we just got this brilliant piece of news today. Be back in a moment.
Hey folks, guess what? Good news. The cancer is gone. There's no traces of the tumor left in my brain. All that remains in my brain is the big black hole where the tumor once was. And so I know I've been sending these like periodical these video updates periodically, and most of the time they're not good news, right? And this is great news. And I have to acknowledge all of the support and kind words and prayers, and from all of you guys. I've read them all, and every little message, no matter how insignificant you think it was, actually helped me to get through this. So thank you to everybody who took the time to send me a message, whether it was a private message or commenting on the videos and things like that. I have to say, it wasn't easy, and I never thought this day would come. There's a bird flying. Bird flying high, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me. So, yeah, like the chemotherapy, the radiotherapy, it was grueling, and I'm not going to say that I'm over it, because I'm still tired a lot of the time. I'm still fatigued. But I'm really happy that this period, this chapter of the treatment is over, and it was a success. I don't think it could have went any better, to be honest. Now I am doing other stuff as well. I'm taking fenbendazole, some ivermectin and things like that. And I don't know to what extent those additional medications have been effective. My hair is almost grown back, and you can't see the scar anymore. I don't think you can anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to share this update with all of you, because I think it's great news, and I want you to celebrate this as well as me. And yeah, it's really good news, and I feel really happy. And for the first time in like the last, since September, or actually since around this time last year, since March of last year, when I was first kind of diagnosed with the tumour, it just seemed like this day was so far away. And even the oncologist was saying to me, look, phase 1 of chemo, 100 milligrams during the radiotherapy, and then the second phase is 400 milligrams for 6 months. And I remember that conversation like it was yesterday, but it was actually more than 6 months ago. And I never thought this day would come, but here we are. And I just wanted to share this update with all of you. And once again, thank you for all of your support, your kind words. I'm not out of the woods yet though, because they're going to have to keep an eye on this, on my brain. So a scan every 3 months for the next year. Hopefully it doesn't come back. I was talking to somebody at a festival, because they actually come over to me because they seen the scar, and they're like, oh, I just want to let you know my dad had the same scar and it came back several times now, so it might actually come back. I haven't got it, it's not in remission. It's probably, it could still be there, but at the moment it's not showing up on the scan. And a friend of my mother's, her partner had the same thing, a brain tumour, and he was doing well seemingly doing well, but then all of a sudden he just died. So I don't know, and that's why I'm saying I'm not out of the woods yet. We're going to be monitoring this for at least, well, for the rest of my life actually.
I think he gets very pessimistic here at this point, which I don't blame him for. I asked him privately, to just focus on, the good news. Don't worry about what comes in the future, because I think he will. I think he will stay well. Zero. I've seen it before. People battle for so long with this particular insidious thing. It's a rare thing I've noticed for it to go away, and I think it comes down to well, he said he was using some alternative therapies. Surely that helps, but I think also the fact that he's a good guy, you know, he's a solid guy, and he has enthusiasm for life. You know, these things matter. You know, they stack up in terms of giving you all sorts of immunity when it comes to health. You know, it's easy and sometimes necessary to get kind of wrapped up in, oh my God, what the fuck is going on in the world? But you really need to watch your mind, you know, take care of that aspect of health because it really does affect the body. I mean, it stands to reason, really, that if you feel that you don't belong here in the world, your body's going to make less effort. It's going to take less chances at sustaining you and reproducing the correct cells and cleaning things out. I think a lot of our viewers in the chat know exactly what I'm talking about. Still going, lads, Zulek asks. Yes, we are. I don't know where we're going to go from here when Morgan gets back from making tea, but we'll figure something out. Oh my God, 1 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, usually when I do a show on Friday, I can take it easy Saturday and pretty much sleep as long as my body needs me to sleep. So I need to take it easy. I have things to do tomorrow. This sucks. Never doing this again. We're going to go live on Fridays forever. None of this arsing around with going live on Saturday or Sunday. It pays to have a little rhythm in your life, and yeah, I'm actually surprised that a lot of you were able to join us tonight. So thank you. Looking at what's going on in the news cycle, the normie news of news.google.com. Dogman Vic says, well, I do know the government never got jabbed. Yeah. Yeah. It's good enough for us, but not good enough for them. How about that? What's this? Israel says it killed Al Jazeera journalist. No, wait, that's weird. Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Google News has it as Israel says it killed Al Jazeera journalist. I open it up and the headline is Al Jazeera says journalists killed in Israeli strike in Gaza. Strange. There's often mismatch between Google link and the title, almost like it's been changed. Let's see. Wayback Machine. Surely that's nope. No, that has been archived. Archive VN. If you guys ever want to get around, oh dear, no, cancel that. If you guys ever want to get around a paywall for an article, type in archive.vn into your browser, whether on your phone or on your PC, and I just paste the link of the article into that thing. It takes a few minutes, but a lot of the times somebody has already archived it hours ago or days ago. And yeah, no more paywall. You get to read the whole article. 9 times out of 10. There's one Irish news outlet that it doesn't work for, which I don't remember. Okay, what's this KO? Trans women are up in arms. Why? Well, some have been refused the free HRT from chemists and looking for answers, but they used to fight for rights. Jesus. Oh, welcome back.
Howdy. Yeah, we're watching Kev's video, is it?
Yeah. I just thought the good news needed to be spread further.
It got dark there at the end, did it? Like I caught the end of it, like, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like.
Yeah, yeah. I reached out to him and I said, "Don't think about the future, man. You know that's pointless." Because, like, I think it's his positive attitude that really fucking carried him out of this. You know, so he's just kind of cursing himself over again.
I was caught that bit about someone coming up to him at a festival and going, "Oh, my dad had the same thing too. Oh, I came back. Fuck off. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with Irish people? Like, oh, look, there's a guy who's been through some shit. Let me go over and crush his spirit."
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, probably an Indian. Right, what did I want to say? Oh, yeah, there was some news about. Let me share the page. It'll probably be the easiest to do. Where's she gone? There she is, Michelle. Yeah, my woman. Robbed, I've been again, like one of my fantasies stolen by the police. Right, we'll just have a listen.
All right.
Can I maximize this at all?
Yeah.
Patriots of Éire. A lot of people have contacted me to ask, did I attend the Daniel O'Connell 250th birthday celebrations in Derrynane yesterday? And did I join the East Kerry GAA 100-year celebrations and welcome the president of the GAA, Charlotte Burns, to Killarney? The answer is, folks, I had planned to attend both. I wanted to, but I was prevented from doing so, and you will be shocked by the reason why. Yesterday, I went to Castleisland Garda Station to receive an update on an ongoing investigations in my legal cases. I parked in the little car park across from Castleisland Garda Station. Immediately when I got out of the car, I noticed a man and woman watching me from an unmarked Jeep. When I had finished my business inside in Castleisland Garda Station and I was returning to my car, a detective inspector flashed his badge and told me, "Michelle, you were under arrest for the alleged harassment of a female Garda." The other female Garda took my bags and I was driven to Tralee Garda Station in an unmarked vehicle, detained, interrogated for approximately 9 hours, strip searched, DNA swabbed and fingerprinted.
Yeah.
For harassment.
Yeah, so for harassing a guard. Strip searched.
That's a bit much, don't you think?
A little bit. A little bit like it. And if anyone was the strip search, Michelle, I thought it would have been me. Like, but no. No. No, but seriously, like, I just need to get that out of my system. And disgusting, like strips, like how you going to harass a guard is a mystery to me to begin with. Like, I think that's grounds for a sacking right there. If you can be harassed as a guard, you shouldn't be in the job. Like, but even if the guard was harassed, like to be strip searched, disgusting, just pure in intimidation. That's like nothing more humiliating than
Yeah.
dragging her in like 9 hours. She goes on to say no access to a solicitor, not allowed to make a phone call, I believe. Didn't give her any food.
Huh.
So essentially a reprisal and a message to Michelle to shut the fuck up, or this will be the treatment going forward. But yeah, be listening her out anyway. I couldn't believe this. Like,
Yeah, I'm having trouble believing it too.
there's only one way to find out.
And finally released without charge. I categorically deny ever harassing any member, either male or female, of An Garda Síochána. During my detention, I was refused a copy of my rights. My phone was seized and I was told I'd need a court order to retrieve it. My necklace,
Why did it cut off there? Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, her necklace, a miraculous medal, is still in an evidence bag somewhere as well.
Okay. I don't think that's how things work, man.
It's not how they should work, but this is the hallmark of the guards. Like if they're fucking with somebody, is to drag them in, rough them up,
right?
Ignore their rights, especially if the order comes down from above as well. Listen, take her in, hassle her. Eventually she'll get the message and she'll shut the fuck up. Like, and it wouldn't be the first time the guards have just taken somebody to fuck with them, like, arrest them, put them through promotions, deny them their rights. It's not if anything's going to come from it anyway. What are you going to do? Complain and get an apology, a half-hearted apology from them? They're not going to admit to this. Like, I'm sure they'll deny it immediately. Like, though there was no strip search. He was offered a call, refused it. But do you think she's lying? Do you think she's making it up, or?
I don't know. Like, I generally, I don't think she's a liar. I think she's a bit of a fantasist, and maybe she will bend the truth for her ends. But I don't think that she would be that much of a liar. So I don't know. And if it's like low level thing, the local guards have a bone to pick. I could see that happening, but what I don't see is word from above to get her into the station and basically traumatize her, or to just get her to shut up, because that doesn't fucking work. Not with her, at least,
Yeah.
Like, just ignore her, and she will have to stop talking because there's nothing coming the other way.
Yeah, I just know the guards are a fucking. It's a gang, like, so if you fuck with a member of the gang, well then the gang are going to take it out on you. But she seems fairly relaxed for somebody who's been strip searched. Like, she doesn't seem grossly offended by it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I'd be furious if I was strip searched.
I'd start with I was strip searched.
Yeah, I know, right?
And what is a bit of a put on, wasn't it? Oh, you've been asking me if I'll be here and there, but I wasn't, and I'll tell you why. Like, instead of
just busy being fingered in the ass like by a cop. But if it did happen, like, it's fucking outrageous. Like, that, and I don't think a strip search can be carried out for a case of harassment. It's like, well, what could she possibly be hiding that warrants a strip search? I'm sure there's only under certain circumstances can somebody be strip searched. But I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about Michelle. But I don't know. I hope it didn't happen, but I have a feeling it did, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wonder if there's stats on how many strip searches they carry out.
You know, interesting. Definitely interesting. Strip search, that can be denied, I guess. Yeah, they can, hold the line and all deny that happened. They can deny that she wasn't allowed to make a phone call. But you know what's hard to deny? That a fucking necklace was taken as evidence for a harassment case. Like, that's on paper. You can't get rid of that. That's a part of the file in the fucking legal proceeding. So that right there is all the evidence that is needed that there was disproportionate use of powers here. So if that's true, then we'll hear about it at some point.
Yeah, but the thing is, she hasn't been charged with anything. So now it's going to be a case of she'll have to chase it up with them about what did you say was still missing? The phone,
Yeah,
and
necklace
and
is
the
what I
necklace.
remember.
Yeah. So she'll have to chase them. I'm sure they can say, well, it's they might hang on to it for a couple of weeks and then say, oh well, it was lost in the evidence room. We just couldn't find it. It fell down the back of something. And then eventually give it on to her. I'm sure with her phone, they want that to get into it to see what contacts are inside. But I imagine if you're doing that, they could do that pretty quickly. But I just know that what they're like, and I've had money stolen from me in the past by these people as well. And there's no real comeback for these fuckers, There's not a lot you can do. But yeah, to keep an eye on it. See what comes of it. Okay, that's Michelle. It's nice to hear from Michelle again. I kind of missed her. She got out of my consciousness, and it's nice for her to be brought back in there and that kind of imagery, just going through her many folds, seeing it like a pop-up book. I'm like, oh, some chips. Oh, a bottle of water. The last copy of her book.
Jeez.
And she is fond of the Indians as well, so I'd like to see what her stance is on this problem. Well, didn't she go to the fucking ashram, and that's where she had
her right, yeah. She's the
Kundalini experience.
the
So she's
guru
well versed in Indian culture. Okay, all right. Where the fuck do we go from here?
I don't know. How long do we want to go for? Because it's a half one now.
Yeah, we can go to 2. Will we?
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to see? Can I get your opinion on whether Sam Hyde was mocking Nick Fuentes? All right. One sec. I'll pull her up here.
Okay.
I like the aesthetics of this Sam Hyde show. It's
Oh, me too. I love it. Like it's
it's spot on.
Is he a graphic designer by trade? Is he? I've heard him mention.
I
graphic
don't
design a few times.
I don't know.
I know he was in art college for whatever reason. But yeah, I've heard him talk about graphic design a few times in detail. So I'd imagine.
Okay. Yeah. His videos were always top notch in that regard. So maybe he was. Yeah. All right. So I was surprised to hear that he interviewed Nick Fuentes, a fucking Fed, by all accounts. And he's in the news now because he made a comment about Tucker Carlson saying that his father was in the CIA.
Okay,
and
so
Tucker Carlson.
That's general knowledge at this stage, isn't it?
Right. But Tucker Carlson was being interviewed by Candace Owens, and he said, how does this kid from Chicago know that my father was in the CIA when I just figured out that he was in the CIA after he passed away in February?
But
he must be a Fed, right? That was what Tucker Carlson said. However, when he interviewed Putin, very, sly I love the way he just slipped this in. He said, I forget what they were talking about. Some, fucking underhanded shit America does. And he says, you would know, as your father was in the CIA. And Tucker Carlson said, yeah. He also at some point said that he applied to be in the CIA and mentioned that his father was in it. So he was lying to, I guess.
Was he though, or because I remember that I think we covered the interview on the show, didn't we?
The Putin.
Yeah, or maybe after the event we covered it.
We didn't watch it. It was too much to there was a lot going on in that interview.
Yeah, because I remember Putin saying it to him that he applied to be in the CIA, but he didn't make it. He didn't make the grade. He was didn't pass muster. I don't know if he mentioned about his father. And again, that was on Wikipedia, because when I heard it was coming up, I looked into Tucker Carlson's past, and that's one of the first things that comes up is that Tucker applied to join the CIA, failed, but I don't know if I mentioned his father or not.
Yeah, you did, yeah. Because you're right. That is general knowledge. It was general knowledge for a while now, and now, for some reason, it's this thing now, big thing for Tucker, because some fucking 27-year-old in Chicago who has a streaming website that's failing, and it says, his father was in the CIA. Well, why is that a big deal? And then he goes on Candace Owens and then fucking lies about it. Is he kind of sacrificing himself to give credibility to this absolute no question about it fed Fuentes?
Who knows? I could be surprised if any of them weren't feds, for fuck's sake.
Well, I doubt that he was rejected by the CIA. His father was in it. Come on, he got in, right? They just said, to the public that they didn't accept him, and then what job does he go into? Project Mockingbird, man. It's nonsense. It's the same thing as a ex-CIA, former CIA agent. Yeah, fuck you. All right, so let's look at this. It's only 3 minutes to get the visual gag, right? I'm pretty certain Sam is taking the piss here.
Looks like we might have to do another show.
This young man who's with us is the recipient of the J. Albert Bean Libertarian Young Creative Thinkers Award. Guys, we're very excited to have Nick Fuentes with us in the house. Nick, how you been?
I'm good, yeah, great to be with you.
Excellent. Is the fucking air conditioning on for a reason? Let's actually make it louder. Let's make it louder in post.
We are Ronald McDonald.
Our allegiance is to truth and justice.
N-word thinking.
You are now banned from the computer.
From a FEMA fridge full of cursed condiments. The only broadcast still operating under the 1983 Emergency Continuity Act. This is the Sam Hyde Show. Tonight, don't watch in the school computer lab. It's Nick Fuentes.
The Sam Hyde Show. This episode is brought to you by Hale. Is that the actual brand name? The microphone cradle is by Hale?
Heil.
Heil what?
It's just Heil.
It's never just Heil. We know this. It's never just a simple Heil. Guys, welcome back to the Sam Hyde Show. Very proud to present Nick Fuentes. Fresh off his Candace Owens interview. That was fun.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I had to stop listening at about an hour because she was yapping so much.
Yeah, it's really more like an interrogation.
She was coming after, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what her problem is. It's another narcissistic black woman, pretty typical.
I don't know what to make of this, man, but every time Sam moves, you hear his jacket.
Oh, this jacket, the leather jacket squeak.
I think it's over. Mysteriously, the cameras were turned off. Nobody was there. Our dad at the Dalton.
People.
I should have fucking timestamped when Sam. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. See, it was only in the first few minutes. He rearranges himself, but he stretches, and it just goes in the microphone. Is he taking the piss out of Nick here?
How could you tell with Sam fucking Hyde? I don't know. I'd have to watch the whole fucking interview. Why did he have him on? Like, is it just a numbers thing? Because I didn't think
must be
the two operate in the same kind of universe, you know.
Yeah,
you can kind of see how it intersects a little bit, but I don't know with Nick Fuentes what the benefit of having him on the show.
Yeah,
I don't know, and I don't really know much about Nick Fuentes either, to be honest. I just know generally he's viewed as a pariah. Like, maybe you can explain, like, what Nick Fuentes is essentially is full on Nazi, yeah.
Yeah,
unapologetically, or what's the deal with him? Like, why is he so considered so toxic by so many?
He's in this kind of internet culture of memeing, you know, and kind of being a top secret Nazi. You know, he deliberately fostered that in his audience, you know, but he won't come out and say it. He's not brave like our own Justin Barrett is, you know. He claims to be all about traditional values when he doesn't live them himself. He seems to have some kind of latent homosexuality thing going on there. And that's it. What really brought him really to prominence in a negative way was encouraging people to commit sedition on January 6th. He told people, go in there, you know, disregard the police, you know, we're taking the Capitol back, which is sedition. That's not what most people were there for, or even most people who went into the building. That's not what they were there for. They weren't there to stage a revolution. But Nick, the Fed that he is, encouraged his followers to, you know, be criminals. And a lot of them went to federal prison. A lot of them weren't even there on January 6th. And he managed to get them locked up. And he's always running events where, in order to be there, you have to have a selfie taken next to your ID, things like this. You know, really very suspect things.
Okay, and what the fuck is Sam Hyde doing having him on the show? Like,
that's the fucking question. It may be, as you say, just a numbers thing. You know. They do on a Perfect Guy Life podcast, as well as on the Sam Hyde show here that we're watching, talk about these things, you know, noticing, as the kids are calling it these days. But nothing like explicit, and it's always in a comical way, or they're just shooting the shit, and you know, the odd monologue might come out of Sam, but it's more of him questioning our culture and who we are as people, not getting into the nitty-gritty of who's who and these organizations and such, which Nick Fuentes gets into. It was actually quite a interesting interview because, you know, he went through these various organizations, you know, the history with the CIA promoting right-wing commentators since the Cold War started, in order to amplify the anti-Soviet message, and then that got almost instantly parlayed into Zionist American bullshit, which has resulted in the world that we live in today. And you would expect Nick Fuentes to be pro-Trump, but he is very much his critic now, because he let the side down. As he said, he turned very Zionist in his second term, and that's when the love affair with Nick Fuentes kind of soured, and started hanging out with Kanye West instead.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking bizarre. Yeah, but I can't understand them. Why the fuck Sam Hyde would want him on? Like, if
Yeah.
there is a suspicion that he's a Fed, it's not like Sam could be oblivious to that fact.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that the only reason then to have him on would be to expose that or poke at that. Because I can't imagine he'd be that silly to go, okay, well, this will get us good numbers. But then wouldn't think, oh, well, hang on a moment. Is it worth it? Like, is an extra fucking 100,000 views worth then having, 2%, 5%, 10% of his audience start questioning, well, Jesus Christ, if Fuentes is a Fed and Sam knows he's a Fed, well, then it's going to, and in the circles that all this takes place in, well, then it's not going to be too much of a stretch for people to go, oh, well, Sam Hyde must be a Fed too, like, and then we get into that whole fucking never-ending circle of everybody's a Fed, Yeah, and I don't know. Was it only 3 minutes you had him on for, or what's the deal?
No, it's a whole hour interview.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I'll have to have a look at the whole interview to see what I make of it. But from what you've watched the whole hour, yeah?
Yeah.
And anything outstanding? Like, does he, like, kind of needle him, or it's just a kind of rational conversation about the...
He's always Sam is always interjecting with the usual humor.
Yeah.
He's a storyteller, so he's creating fictional kind of circumstances and scenarios, and that's his thing. And Nick is just a fish out of water. He's just sitting there smiling when the three guys are just riffing off of bizarre kind of ideas.
Well, it's a pretty bizarre setup to begin with, anyway. Isn't it? Like the fucking one's way they're sitting, like, it's very unnatural, and it doesn't. It's you're sitting opposite somebody. It's kind of a waiting room posture, like everybody's sitting there waiting for something else to happen, and you got two guys opposite you. Yeah, I don't fucking know, like, and it's Sam Hyde, so who fucking knows what the hell he's up to? And maybe we take it too seriously, like, oh, well, there must be something deeper to it, and just forgetting that, okay, well, it's a show that needs to be run every week as well. So it looks like fucking Colonel Sanders. Like, it's just like every image, his face changes. Like,
right?
I don't know. He seems to be slimming down as well. I don't know if he stopped taking TRT, or if he's, I don't know, maybe he's eating better. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, he's always improving. You know what I've noticed? He's very dolled up in this. For the Sam Hyde show, he does kind of take care of his appearance, but on a Perfect Guy Life podcast, it looks like he just rolled out of bed and then walked into the studio. And I've never seen a man own being bald like that.
Yeah,
like he's balding, and it's thinning, and he looks older, and he owns it, and he's just such a man, that he looks beautiful because he is so, what is it, certain or non-caring about it.
I don't know, like, but he's roided up as well, like, so I don't know. Would a real man be on the TRT? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I like Sam, but
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's of that type of person as well. But it's hard to know when, if ever, he's being serious. But yeah, I'll have to watch the interview to see what the fuck I make of it. But yeah, I just don't get it. If Fuentes is known as a Fed, it's like, and if like Sam, like, is obviously his entertainment, but he's not just doing it for entertainment. He obviously has a love of his country, and he's a particularly fucking smart, intelligent man, and you can see the writing on the wall clearly.
Oh, he's very, very well read.
Oh, yeah.
He just doesn't, lecture.
Yeah. So I don't know. So maybe he's aligned with Fuentes and his message. I don't really know. I don't know.
Well, on the face of it, Fuentes is America first. That's the kind of the conferences he started up and the movement, I guess. And in spirit, yeah, that's Sam Hyde's thing. America first. Let's when Elon Musk came out with this thing about how actually, guys, Indians are better than you because they actually work. Sam Hyde was the biggest voice to call that shit out.
Okay. And so then, would there be a pushback from Sam Hyde's audience for having Fuentes on, or have you seen that, or
what?
Nothing burger.
I don't think so. Should we take a look? We're so black. Why is Leon Trotsky interviewing Marty McFly? Today I opened YouTube and said no fucking way. Yeah, same here, but for different reasons. A little known fact about Sam's grandfather: he was responsible for 35 drowned German planes in World War II. Still to this day holds the record as worst mechanic the Luftwaffe ever had. I didn't see where that was going. That's funny. Funny audience, yeah, nothing really critical of. Yeah, that's a shame. Because it's pretty fucking obvious what fucking Fuentes is,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I mean. Like, if it is obvious, well, then why wouldn't it be obvious to Sam?
Yeah, it has.
Unless he just doesn't give a fuck, like, and if it's a case. Well, if he is or he isn't, it'll still make an interesting guest.
Yeah.
What's the come of it? Like, so if he has him on, the only negative could be that he'll lose audience from it. But I think he's that well established that it's a single appearance by Nick Fuentes isn't going to kill the show. But why have him on? And you said it was just the week that's in it, so he's big at the moment because of this Tucker Carlson shit,
yeah. He's his image is being laundered. Yeah.
Well, then it could be just as simple as that. It's like, okay,
yeah. And Sam has World Peace 2 to Extreme Peace rather to promote, which they're saying a lot of people have already bought that series to watch it. I have to get around to doing it. It looks good without the free clips that they put out. So, more eyeballs, really.
Yeah, well, that's and Fuentes has a big audience too, doesn't it? Yeah, and I think it's easy to forget that as well. That people are business people as well, so it's it's not just the case of okay, well, let's do this every week or 3 times a week, whatever they do. Like, so it's a business, it's an organization. It's it's not Sam and some other dude like that. There's an organization and a team behind it, and people will be booking guests and what have you.
people need to get paid.
Yeah, but again, it's just odd that if there is
Mm.
that question around him, and I think Sam will be a man who will value his reputation probably above other things. So it seems a bit risky, but
yeah. Well,
if his audience don't give a fuck, well then, you know, why
Yeah.
should he? And and
Fair
it
enough.
shouldn't really matter anyway. If you want to talk to somebody, you should just be able to fucking
true.
talk to them. And I think it's part of that. It's that parasocial relationship as well, isn't it? That, you know, we build up with people like this thinking that we fucking know them as well, and it's like like it's probably never crossed his, he's probably never given it a second fucking thought. Like it's just another person, another part of the show, and as soon as it's done, it's forgotten, and it's like, okay, what are we doing next? Like where are we going? What camera do I need to be on now? Like, so yeah, I don't know, but I'll listen to the full interview and see what's what.
Absolutely. All right. Just a curiosity I thought I'd bring to the table. We rarely talk about American stuff, but, you know, considering the fact that, you know, we're pretty much Americans anyway, just on a little island hundreds of miles away. You know, like, let's be honest. We should be noticing the cues for what's coming down the pike.
Okay. I think we wrapped up there. The side of my face is starting to burn me now as well.
What's going on?
Oh, it's a tooth. Like it's
oh no.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll we'll give your mouth a rest then and go to bed. So thanks everyone for joining us.
I'll work on ending the show as well. Like.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just
I
like,
just fucking
So that was the thing. Goodbye. Mark Henderson says, wasn't Nick Fuentes with Kanye and Milo when Kanye walked off Tim Pool? Oh, yeah. But we could get into those things as well. And imagine being friends with Milo Yiannopoulos, the guy who says that, God, homosexual predation is a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
It teaches young boys to something or other. I don't know. Yeah. Gives them character.
Is he still not gay as well? Is he still cured, Milo?
Last I heard, yeah, he's still praying the gay away. Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
Oh God! I mean, I love him. He's brilliant. He's the most entertaining, flamboyant gay there is, and he's just fucking funny. But still, man, come on. You're hanging out with Milo Yiannopoulos and Kanye West. Oof.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, folks.
All right. Good night, folks.
Next Friday.
Yeah. Well, I won't have it. Well, hopefully I won't have a toothache. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, so.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. All right. Good night, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Apologies for the late appearance, but you know,
it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Good night, folks.